Noor grew up in mountains, losing his father early, then his mother, leaving him alone after peaceful childhood ended. Young Noor stood beside his dying mother, hearing her final words, feeling regret, and promising silently to remember her wishes. He helped townspeople daily, assisting Stella and searching for a missing pet, showing kindness despite living alone. Carried goods through town, Noor thanked by others, while workers recognized his effort and invited him to continue helping. Returned to work, he greeting a man inside, showing readiness, continuing his routine life while offering help whenever needed. The owner checked papers, confirming work was finished as he handed Noor his payment at the shop. Noor received instructions and prepared to leave, while the owner noticed someone familiar entering, drawing attention toward that person. The owner explained Noor handled unusual jobs, noting the guild assigned them, while another questioned why such tasks went to him. They discussed ranks, revealing Noor belonged below rank F, considered unknown, surprising others who had never heard such classification before. Noor's rank restricted him from missions, allowing only city tasks, as dangerous creatures existed outside, beyond his permitted responsibilities. People questioned why Noor never trained, while the owner explained the rank system issues and mentioned Noor remained at lowest rank. The training campus offered 6 classes, requiring certification exams, ensuring adventurers learn skills to survive dangerous situations. They discussed how trained individuals gain skills, while Noor had not attended yet, raising doubts about his abilities and qualifications. The owner explained that after examinations across all classes, Noor still failed to meet requirements expected from any adventurer. Noor continued working despite being judged skill-less, moving through town carrying items, while others believed he lacked essential abilities entirely. Noor arrived at ruins on time, greeted briefly, standing before large pillars, preparing himself quietly for another day of effort. He worked carrying heavy sacks with others, as workers explained shortages, relying on him since guild members rarely accepted such labor. After working, Noor rested with laborers, then continued lifting sacks, showing persistence, while others observed his effort and quiet determination. Others questioned Noor's path, suggesting danger and lack of talent, while he believed he had gained 2 essential skills. An instructor stopped Noor's attempt, stating time was over, despite his persistence, while Noor asked for another chance desperately. Noor stood silently after rejection, listening as advice was given. Realizing he could still search for talent elsewhere, the instructor encouraged Noor to keep practicing one skill, suggesting dedication could lead to discovering new abilities over time. Noor accepted the advice, determined to continue. While the instructor praised his character as a strength beyond natural talent, he trained across many places, yet was told he lacked abilities, causing his dream of becoming an adventurer to fade. Resolved to train one skill endlessly, Noor believing effort alone could surpass talent, continuing practice, despite knowing his limitations. Noor trained relentlessly, swinging his sword while focusing on parrying, repeating movements continuously as he tried forging a new skill. A year passed as Noor improved his parry, striking multiple targets, practicing endlessly day and night, steadily increasing his strength. Noor continued training daily with hope, believing persistence would let him become a true adventurer, despite lacking recognized abilities. 3 years passed. Noor mastered parry greatly, deflecting countless attacks, now capable of striking many targets with a single motion. Noor pushed himself further, determined to grow stronger, refining his parry skill endlessly, believing effort alone would reach his goal. 10 years passed as Noor trained parry relentlessly, deflecting countless attacks, yet still believed he lacked any true ability. Noor persisted and visited the guild, earning a title, though his skills seemed minor and mostly useless in daily situations. He used basic cleric and warrior skills to support labor, increasing strength and endurance, allowing him to carry heavier loads. Noor applied thief and magician skills in simple tasks, rescuing animals, and managing fire, making his daily work easier. Relied on various small skills to live, Noor rarely using parry, while practicing simple techniques like throwing stones effectively. Days passed quietly as Noor continued practicing parry alone, no longer chasing dreams, but maintaining the technique out of habit. Noor reflected calmly, accepting his life, helping others, finding peace in simple living, believing his path still held meaning. He worked steadily at the site, praised for effort. Though others questioned his choices, noting he avoided pursuing adventurer work. A worker offered Noor stable employment with better pay, recognizing his effort, but Noor declined, choosing his current path. While leaving, Noor noticed a sudden light from the maze. Stopping in surprise, sensing something unusual, drawing his attention forward. Noor heard a distant voice calling for help, turning toward the sound, sensing urgency, and stepping forward into an unfamiliar place. Inside, a massive horned monster appeared, radiating power, its body surrounded by energy, overwhelming the area with dangerous presence. Noor recognized the creature as a giant buffalo, realizing its scale and strength, becoming cautious while observing the situation carefully. Soldiers fought the monster desperately, protecting others, while a girl fell nearby, showing the battle was already turning dangerous. The monster attacked fiercely, overpowering defenses, while soldiers struggled to respond, coordinating movements as the situation grew increasingly critical. The giant monster advanced toward soldiers, raising its weapon, while Noor watched closely. The monster struck powerfully, sending soldiers flying, overwhelming their defense instantly. While Noor observed the impact and assessed the threat, a girl remained on the ground, injured and unable to move, while Noor focused, deciding he needed one decisive action. The monster approached the girl, preparing another attack, while she struggled to breathe, unable to escape from the danger. Noor threw a stone to distract the monster, preparing to act as decoy, planning carefully to create an opportunity for escape. The monster charged at Noor with overwhelming speed, shocking both him and the girl. As the attack closed distance instantly, observers believed Noor could not survive, even if he reacted, as the monster's power and speed made defense nearly impossible. Noor raised his sword and executed parry, deflecting the monster's strike precisely, stopping the attack at the moment of impact. The monster recoiled from the deflection, its movement disrupted, while Noor maintained position, preparing himself for the next exchange. Noor endured the force, realizing the attack's strength, yet continued resisting, focusing fully on maintaining control against the monster's pressure. Noor struggled to hold against the monster's power, realizing he lacked finishing moves and needed to find a weakness quickly. The monster prepared another attack, while Noor noticed the girl still nearby, realizing she had not escaped the battlefield. Noor moved instantly, parrying the incoming strike again, protecting the girl directly, deflecting the attack away from her position. He realized his weapon could not withstand repeated clashes, as the monster's strength far exceeded anything he had faced before. The monster launched another powerful strike, overwhelming the area, while Noor prepared himself, focusing entirely on surviving the next impact. Noor realized dodging would kill the girl, deciding to endure the attack, gathering strength while preparing to face it directly. He stepped forward and used parry again, meeting the monster's strike head-on, focusing entirely on perfect timing. The deflection redirected the attack's force, sending energy back, as Noor maintained stance, pushing beyond his limits under pressure. The monster's body twisted from the reflected force, losing balance, its movement disrupted by Noor's precise defensive technique. The creature was thrown backward violently, crashing down heavily, as Noor's parry finally turned the overwhelming attack against it. Noor collapsed after the battle, body shaking, weapon breaking. Realizing he reached his limit but confirmed he had defeated the monster. Reflected on his weakness, Noor admitting he was not ready for adventuring. Recognizing the monster proved his limits clearly. The girl thanked Noor sincerely, while soldiers checked survivors, confirming safety, showing relief after surviving the dangerous encounter. Others searched the area, noticing the aftermath, while the girl explained Noor's actions, acknowledging his role in defeating the monster. Noor walked away quietly, looking at his hands, deciding to train harder, determined to improve his strength after the experience. Rainclays examined the corpse of a minotaur, confirming it was summoned by magic, concluding the incident was caused by humans. Investigators analyzed magical traces and recovered fragments, determining similarities with a powerful artifact, suggesting involvement of a magician's enchanted ring. Rainclays discussed motives, linking the attack to political conflict, suggesting enemies aimed to provoke war and obtain valuable relics. They reviewed evidence further, noting the weapon used surpassed expectations, while Rainclays shifted focus toward the unknown individual involved. Rainclays ordered continued investigation, dismissing hesitation, while others questioned the mysterious rescuer. Noor heard about a minotaur attack, denied seeing it, while others praised an unknown hero who saved the city. Noor received his pay, satisfied with simple earnings, showing no concern about greater rewards or recognition from dangerous events. The hooded girl earlier approached Noor, questioning his life choices, suggesting he pursue a better path and future. She revealed she tracked Noor using magic, explaining her search while confirming his identity as the person she sought. The girl demonstrated her abilities, explaining her magician skills, while Noor realized her talent far exceeded his own level. Noor stayed inside a shop, feeling uncomfortable with attention, while others teased him about being close to her. They moved outside, where the girl used magic to create privacy, while Noor listened as others warned him about danger. She thanked Noor sincerely, explaining he saved her and the city, expressing her purpose clearly despite earlier misunderstandings. Insisted on rewarding Noor, the girl offering anything possible, while Noor remained modest, accepting only simple gratitude from her. She invited Noor to meet her family, but he refused politely, satisfied with thanks, choosing to keep his humble life unchanged. Noor refused her help repeatedly, insisting he had no problems, while she continued offering support through her family. Noor apologized and rejected rewards, stating he wanted nothing in return, while the girl became visibly upset by his response. She insisted strongly on repaying him, becoming emotional, demanding he accept her gratitude or she would remain there crying. Noor finally agreed to meet her family, deciding to accept her request. While she regained composure and prepared seriously, the girl used magic to hide them, preventing attention while Noor followed calmly, asking her not to act excessively. Later, the girl guided Noor through a grand building, leading him upstairs calmly. While he followed quietly, observing his surroundings, Noor arrived outside a massive castle, realizing its scale, while the girl confirmed it was her home, surprising him greatly. The girl asked his name formally, then Noor introduced himself, creating an awkward moment as they realized they had not exchanged names. She introduced herself as Lindbergh Clays, asking him to call her Lin. Apologizing for forgetting proper introductions earlier, Noor walked through the vast interior, realizing her noble status, while Lin excitedly greeted someone, showing familiarity within the mansion. Lin returned home, greeted by her guard, while Noor stood behind, and she requested to meet her father soon. She introduced Noor as her guest, explaining he saved her life, ordering the guard to treat him with respect. Lin led Noor inside the mansion, guiding him carefully, while he remained alert, noticing the guarded and secure surroundings. Another man named Gilbat approached, questioning Noor's presence, while Lin asserted his status as her guest. Gilbat recognized Noor, speaking casually, while a figure waited ahead, suggesting Noor was about to meet someone important. Lin met her brother, Rain, who noticed her cloak, questioning her actions. She apologized, insisting she wanted to find her benefactor, while her brother warned her about acting without permission, presented Noor, Lin declaring he saved her, while her brother observed him closely, recognizing the situation immediately. Their father appeared, examining Noor, noting his youth, acknowledging him as the one who rescued his daughter. The father spoke firmly, inviting Noor closer, stating status did not matter, preparing to discuss matters directly with him. Lin's father greeted Noor respectfully, shaking his hand, explaining he differed from other nobles, creating a direct and open atmosphere. The father expressed deep gratitude, acknowledging Noor's courage saved his daughter, emphasizing that simple thanks could never repay such actions. The father offered rewards generously, including land or money, but Noor remained calm, stating he was satisfied with gratitude alone. Noor explained his goal was becoming an adventurer, refusing wealth, while the father realized Noor sought something beyond material rewards. The father suggested treasures from the maze, giving Noor freedom to choose something beyond money. Rain immediately questioned the offer. Noor declined rewards again, expressing satisfaction with gratitude, while Lin's father insisted he should still choose something meaningful. The father revealed a large unusual sword, presenting it as an option, asking Noor's opinion while showing its unique appearance. Rain questioned the choice, but the father explained it was unnoticed decoration, ordering secrecy, while Noor examined the strange weapon carefully. Noor lifted the sword, testing its weight, observing its form closely, showing curiosity despite its unusual and slightly deformed structure. He accepted the sword politely, but hesitated, sensing importance, while the father encouraged him to test it before deciding further. Noor tested the sword, swinging it powerfully, creating a large impact, demonstrating unexpected strength while maintaining control over its movement. He noted the sword's weight, but handled it easily, relying on his strength enhancement to manage its heaviness effectively. Lin's father praised the sword's durability, explaining its history, while Noor accepted it seriously, promising to use it with care. The father requested Noor protect Lin, expressing concern, but Noor refused, believing she should face challenges independently without reliance. He prepared to leave with the sword, realizing he gained unexpected treasure despite originally intending to accept nothing from them. Noor considered using the sword for simple tasks, while a guard approached, addressing him as a guest inside the mansion. The guard apologized for earlier behavior, bowing respectfully, explaining she misunderstood Noor's identity as Lin's important benefactor. Noor accepted calmly, asking her to stand, while she continued apologizing sincerely for her earlier disrespect toward him. Noor realized her role, noting her caution, while she explained her duty protecting the Kratos family and watching unknown visitors. She introduced herself as Enes Hans, deputy leader of the warrior corps, formally presenting her position while maintaining respectful composure. Enes explained her role as protector, stating she serves as shield for her master, acknowledging Noor's presence during her absence. Thanked Noor deeply, she admitting he saved both her master and herself, requesting he seek her help if needed. Enes confronted Noor about disrespect toward Lin, clarifying her duty, insisting he understand proper conduct within the household. She warned Noor seriously, demanding respectful behavior, then calmly asked his name, showing interest in knowing her benefactor personally. Noor introduced himself, causing Enes to pause, reacting with surprise upon finally learning his identity. Clearly Noor decided to leave the mansion, walking away quietly, carrying the sword, while someone noticed him and questioned his sudden departure. Gilbat appeared suddenly, blocking Noor's path, throwing a spear to stop him, then calmly asked to speak before Noor left. Gilbat approached Noor confidently, requesting a spar, while Noor stood calmly, unsure yet accepting, unable to return home without trying. Noor questioned the meaning of sparring, showing confusion, while Gilbat prepared, expecting a simple practice match between fighters. They entered the arena, surrounded by observers, beginning a practice fight, as both prepared their stances and measured each other carefully. Spectators watched closely, recognizing Gilbat's presence, while Noor remained focused, unaware of his opponent's reputation and growing tension. Gilbat revealed his renown in the royal capital, gripping his weapon firmly, while Noor observed quietly, preparing himself for the upcoming battle. Gilbat declared his intent to test Noor's ability, raising his weapon. While Noor responded calmly, preparing himself without hesitation, both fighters signaled readiness, Gilbat eager for battle, while Noor showed quiet confidence, focusing entirely on the upcoming exchange. Gilbat launched a fast strike toward Noor, attacking directly, while Noor reacted instantly, positioning himself to respond against the incoming blow. Gilbat followed with rapid consecutive attacks, increasing speed and pressure, attempting to overwhelm Noor through continuous offensive movements. Noor deflected every strike precisely, avoiding damage, while Gilbat realized Noor's defense was exceptional and decided to increase his speed. Gilbat demanded Noor entertain him, advancing aggressively, gripping his weapon tightly, expecting Noor to prove whether he possessed true heroic ability. A sudden interruption stopped the fight, halting Gilbat's attack mid-motion, as an external force prevented further combat from continuing. Observers acknowledged Gilbat's overwhelming strength, recognizing his reputation, while Noor reflected quietly, realizing his own strength lay in defense. Gilbat recalled his growth through constant effort, mastering techniques daily, believing strength came from relentless practice and continuous improvement. Later, Gilbat appeared restless, approached by someone mysterious, hinting at new challenges, as he admitted boredom, despite unmatched strength. Gilbat reflected on defeating all opponents in the capital, seeking a worthy partner, having already surpassed every teacher he once trained with. A hooded man explained conflict rising between nations, suggesting strong warriors would gather in the capital, where Gilbat might find challenge. Gilbat listened as he was told to return, understanding the capital would soon gather forces, presenting opportunities for stronger opponents. After returning, Gilbat fought monsters and criminals repeatedly, engaging in constant battles, continuing to sharpen his abilities through relentless combat. Despite constant fighting, Gilbat remained unmatched, realizing no opponent could rival him, even as enemies around him gradually became stronger. Gilbat fought monsters relentlessly, defeating every opponent easily, growing dissatisfied as none could challenge his strength or provide excitement. During battle, Gilbat declared all enemies weak, expressing frustration as his overwhelming power made every fight predictable and unfulfilling. Later, Gilbat rested, reflecting on emptiness, questioning purpose, while speaking with a figure about lacking worthy opponents to challenge him. The figure explained responsibility and limits, stating protecting the capital mattered. While Gilbat admitted boredom, despite constant battles around him, the figure predicted someone stronger would appear someday. While Gilbat hoped it happened soon, fearing endless boredom if no rival arrives. Noor moved quickly around Gilbat's attacks, dodging strikes across the arena, maintaining distance while carefully observing every movement. Gilbat realized Noor was only defending, increasing speed gradually, preparing a final decisive attack, while analyzing Noor's unusual fighting style, charged forward at full power. Gilbat launching a powerful strike, while Noor focused completely, preparing to respond at the precise moment. Noor reacted instantly, shifting position and deflecting the attack, narrowly avoiding damage while maintaining balance against the overwhelming force. Followed through aggressively, Gilbat believing he had caught Noor, as Noor was pushed back, still holding his stance under pressure. Gilbat noticed Noor avoiding strikes, precisely, realizing attacks never reached him, as Noor used his weapon cleverly to maintain control. Prepared seriously, Gilbat releasing full power while Noor calmly suggested increasing speed, showing confidence despite facing a stronger opponent. Gilbat unleashed a powerful technique, sending a destructive strike forward, aiming directly at Noor with overwhelming speed and force. The attack moved faster than sound, surprising Gilbat himself, as the spear flew uncontrollably after releasing its immense power. Gilbat believed the attack would hit Noor's throat directly, convinced there was no possibility of missing at such close distance. Noor redirected the massive attack, creating a swirling impact, as the force bent away, preventing direct damage from reaching him. The redirected strike hit the ground, leaving a large crater, while Gilbat realized his attack had completely missed unexpectedly. Gilbat looked across the damaged arena, confused, trying to understand Noor's movement, while observers reacted to the sudden destruction. He dropped to one knee and surrendered, acknowledging defeat, while Noor reached out, asking him to wait instead. Noor stood outside later, calm and quiet, looking toward the castle, as the battle ended without him fully understanding outcome. Noor reflected on the attack, realizing he used all his abilities to dodge, questioning whether he had grown stronger. Gilbat admitted the danger of pride, while Noor acknowledged he nearly died, deciding to train harder after understanding his weakness. The arena showed deep cracks from the impact, while Gilbat sat quietly, contemplating the outcome and his unexpected defeat. Gilbat reconsidered Noor, recalling rumors, realizing Noor appeared ordinary, yet possessed strength beyond what his appearance suggested. He analyzed Noor's silent movements, concluding he lost completely, recognizing Noor's hidden ability, surpassed his expectations during the spar. Gilbat expressed excitement after the spar, acknowledging Noor, while Noor responded calmly, as both anticipated meeting again in future battles. Noor returned to daily tasks, using his large sword for simple work, adjusting structures carefully while continuing his routine responsibilities, cleaned his sword easily, Noor noticing its durability as someone requested help, showing he remained relied upon by others. Noor examined the weapon closely, realizing it remained undamaged, despite constant use, recalling its sturdiness and unusual durability, continued working calmly. Noor accepting requests, maintaining his simple life, helping others while training quietly, without drawing attention. Noor learned his construction job was cancelled, so he accepted requests from people needing help cleaning and fixing gutters. He wondered what to do next, knowing he could only take simple jobs inside the capital due to his low rank. Noor encountered Lin, who greeted him warmly, surprising him as she appeared unexpectedly, while he was considering his next task. Lin explained she found him through the guild master, asking if she was intruding, while Noor listened calmly holding his weapon. Noor thanked her for yesterday, questioning how she found him. Realizing it required skill, then asked why she was seeking him. Lin explained she came for another reason, standing firmly before Noor, showing seriousness as she prepared to reveal her true intention. She requested to become Noor's apprentice, surprising him completely, as Noel reacted with confusion, realizing his quiet life was beginning to change. Noel recalled a tale of a boy without talent who trained relentlessly. Dismissed by instructors, the boy mastered 6 disciplines through sheer effort. Noel once thought such determination was unrealistic. Now speaking with Ryan, Noel learned of her wish to become his servant. In her world, servants were akin to disciples, entrusted with learning skills while aiding their master's life. Noel politely declined the offer. Ryan appeared surprised, questioning if her dedication had offended him. Noel remained calm, sensing her resolve but uncertain about accepting such responsibility at this stage. Noel refused Ryan's offer again. He explained he had nothing to teach and preferred handling tasks alone. Ryan, determined, insisted she would prove her worth through her own abilities. Despite Noel's polite refusals, Ryan remained resolute. Declaring she would demonstrate her value, she prepared a powerful spell. Noel, curious yet cautious, watched her efforts unfold without interrupting her determination. Ryan unleashed her magic, casting Dance of Frost. Shards of ice spiraled outward, displaying her control and skill. With this bold display, she hoped to earn Noel's recognition at last. Determined to prove herself, Ryan continued her demonstration. She unleashed Blaze Strike, a powerful attack. Flames erupted with precision. Noel observed quietly, impressed by her skill but still uncertain about her request. Ryan pressed on, showcasing her supreme abilities. Blaze Strike carved through the air with controlled force. Each move revealed her dedication and the advanced level of training she had achieved. Next, she revealed Dragon Strike, a rare thieves' skill. Taught by a skilled instructor, it combined speed and technique. Ryan's determination was clear. She would not give up without being acknowledged. Ryan executed Holy Light Strike, filling the air with brilliant energy. The powerful display impressed Noel. Though she wished to show more, Noel decided he had already seen enough of her strength. Ryan pleaded to become Noel's disciple. Internally, Noel felt unworthy, believing he had nothing to teach someone so capable. With measured words, he declined, hoping to gently convey his position. Undeterred, Ryan persisted. She cited her recognition by multiple instructors and her diverse skills. Confident she could contribute, she earnestly requested once more to serve Noel, her determination unwavering. To help Ryan understand, Noel demonstrated his own skill. He summoned a simple fireball. It was a basic technique, yet he chose it deliberately, intending to teach through clarity. Ryan recalled her lessons. Her instructor had explained that a fireball's power depended on practice. Despite her efforts, she had never achieved notable size. Noel's calm display intrigued her. Noel's fireball grew steadily, surpassing what Ryan had seen even from her master. She watched in awe, realizing that behind his modest demeanor lay a depth of strength she hadn't imagined. Ryan reflected on Noel's demonstration. Compared to his mastery, her earlier display felt shallow. She questioned her own readiness, realizing she had yet to truly master the skills she presented. Elsewhere, others also recognized Noel's quiet strength. He acted without seeking fame, inspiring admiration. His presence suggested unwavering resolve, a quality essential for those destined to lead or protect the kingdom. With newfound clarity, Ryan admitted her complacency and shortcomings. Noel was taken aback by her sudden humility. For the first time, Ryan fully grasped the depth of the path ahead. Despite his refusal, Ryan remained steadfast. She vowed to follow Noel until the day he accepted her. Inwardly, Noel sensed the depth of power and resolve growing within her. Elsewhere, Ryan's brother reflected on Noel's sword. He questioned their father's decision to gift such a priceless relic to a commoner. The sword's significance weighed heavily on his thoughts. The sword's origins were legendary. Forged with dragon fangs, indestructible and unmatched, it defied replication. Even the royal family lacked materials of equal worth. The mystery of its true nature remained unsolved. Ryan's brother pondered his father's motives. The gifted sword might influence more than just one man. Beneath the kingdom's calm exterior, political tensions simmered. The sword could shift the balance. Meanwhile, Noel and Ryan headed to the guild. Noel sought simple tasks to pass the time. Despite his reluctance, Ryan cheerfully accompanied him, determined to stay close to her master. At the guild, Noel's presence with Ryan drew attention. He tried to explain casually. Ryan maintained her polite stance, though her eagerness to remain by his side remained clear to all. At the guild, Noel sought a mission. The clerk suggested one for pairs. Noel hesitated but accepted, hoping Ryan might realize his intent. Meanwhile, Ryan remained cheerfully determined to follow him. The mission involved destroying goblins. Noel was surprised but eager. With Ryan's silver rank ensuring eligibility, he accepted the task. Excited, he prepared for his first proper mission as an adventurer. Noel checked if Ryan was comfortable with the mission. Without hesitation, she agreed. Grateful yet wary of her persistence, Noel resolved to complete the task while managing their dynamic carefully. Though conflicted about relying on Ryan, Noel accepted the goblin mission. Determined to progress as an adventurer, he resolved to face the challenge head-on, supported by his unlikely companion. Receiving final instructions, Noel promised to proceed carefully. The guild warned of reduced threats but emphasized caution. With map in hand and resolve steady, Noel prepared for the journey ahead. Together, Noel and Ryan departed. Their first true mission had begun. With eager steps, they advanced, ready to face the unknown. For Noel, this marked the start of a new path. Noel and Ryan entered the Forest of Monsters. Known as a training ground, it hosted goblins and other creatures. Their mission: subdue goblins and help maintain the balance within the forest. As they searched, Ryan confirmed the goblins' numbers had decreased. Few remained. Noel stayed alert, ready for any encounter. The forest's silence hinted that their task might not be so simple. Suddenly, Ryan sensed movement. A distant presence stirred stronger than an ordinary goblin. Urging haste, they moved quickly. Noel readied himself, prepared to confront whatever threat now awaited deeper in the forest. Deeper in the forest, an unsettling silence surrounded them. No birds sang. Ryan sensed something was wrong. Noel remained cautious. Both understood that this unnatural quiet signaled an imminent threat. While investigating, Ryan detected traces of hidden magic. Acting quickly, she dispelled a concealed spell. Their vigilance paid off as something stirred nearby, confirming their suspicions of a concealed danger. Emerging from the shadows, a towering goblin appeared. Ryan recognized it immediately, not an ordinary goblin, but something far stronger. They now faced a formidable foe in the heart of the forest. The monstrous figure revealed itself a goblin emperor. Born through forbidden means, it was the strongest of its kind. Ryan and Noel now faced a threat far beyond their expectations. The goblin emperor's strength rivaled high-level disasters. Normally, multiple elite adventurers would be required to confront such a foe. Its overwhelming power and size made the situation even more dire. Ryan recognized the danger. Fear and doubt gripped her. Memories of past failures resurfaced. Determined yet anxious, she questioned her ability to help Noel against such an overwhelming opponent. Noel remained calm. To him, it was still a goblin. Determined, he prepared to fight. Ryan, encouraged by his resolve, followed his lead. Together, they advanced toward the towering enemy. Facing the goblin emperor, Noel assessed the situation. The creature was larger than expected. Despite fear, he steadied himself. This battle would mark an important first step in his adventuring path. Resolute, Noel charged forward. The moment had arrived. Though anxious, he faced the challenge head-on. This fight would define his growth as an adventurer, the first of many trials ahead. The goblin emperor attacked with overwhelming force. Calmly, Noel parried the strike. His movements were precise, each deflection neutralizing the monster's power. The battle's momentum began to shift in his favor. A flurry of blows followed. Noel held his ground, parrying each with determination. The emperor pressed harder, but Noel remained unshaken, carefully controlling the flow of the fight. Spotting an opportunity, Noel called out to Ryan. His voice cut through the chaos. Timing was critical. Now was their chance. Together, they would strike to end the battle. Ryan unleashed Dance of Frost to aid Noel. Together, they pressed the attack. The goblin emperor, despite its size, moved swiftly. Noel continued parrying with sharp focus and steady resolve. Noel protected Ryan as they coordinated their efforts. Each blow required perfect timing. The emperor's strikes grew faster. Noel sensed the mounting intensity and the increasing danger of the fight. As the battle escalated, Noel recognized the limits of his defense. The goblin's relentless speed posed a serious threat. Determined, Noel searched for a new strategy to protect Ryan and prevail. Ryan unleashed Wind Blast, pushing back the goblin emperor. Noel praised her efforts, yet beneath the surface they noticed a troubling sign: the monster's wounds were healing rapidly. They observed the source of its regeneration, a dark magic stone. Ryan and Noel discussed a new strategy. To win, they needed to remove or neutralize the stone's power. Noel proposed a risky plan. If Ryan used wind magic to propel him, he could close the distance. Armed with his sword, he aimed to target the magic stone directly. Ryan launched Wind Blast, propelling Noel forward. With perfect timing, he advanced toward the goblin emperor. Their teamwork showed precision. Noel braced himself, focusing on the mission to strike the stone. Enhancing his body, Noel closed the gap. The Goblin Emperor reacted swiftly, but Noel used stealth and agility. With each step, the strain on his body grew, yet he pressed on. As the Goblin Emperor prepared to dodge, Noel anticipated its movement. With a surge of determination, he maneuvered into position. His chance had come, he was ready to strike. With precise aim, Noel struck the Goblin Emperor's magic stone. The impact shattered it, halting the creature's regeneration. The battle ended in victory. Together, Noel and Rhine completed their dangerous mission. News of the Goblin Emperor's defeat reached the royal capital. Tensions rose. The young noble reflected on the growing threat. Time was running short, decisive action would soon be needed. An urgent report confirmed the monster's origin. The purity of its magic stone hinted at something abnormal. Discussions pointed toward an external force capable of crafting such dangerous artifacts. Suspicion fell on the Demon Heart sect. Their involvement seemed likely. The noble was both alarmed and intrigued. How had two unknown adventurers managed to overcome such a formidable enemy? Investigators examined the Goblin Emperor's origins. It had been hidden deep within the forest by advanced magic. The concealment technique bypassed even royal censors, raising grave concerns about external interference. Discussion revealed widespread anomalies. The forest's goblin numbers had dropped sharply. Reports indicated other regions experienced similar disturbances. The guild had already proposed emergency restrictions to prevent further escalation. A compiled report revealed unsettling patterns, strange noises, missing animals, vanishing people. The noble reviewed the troubling evidence. A hidden force was clearly at work. Greater dangers now loomed. Initially dismissed as unrelated, the anomalies revealed a pattern. All incidents clustered around one location. The noble quickly deduced a hidden threat. He ordered immediate investigation using presence concealment detection specialists. Recognizing the danger's scale, the noble invoked emergency powers. He summoned the elite 6 saints to assist. Their combined skills would be vital in uncovering the concealed threat. With orders dispatched, the noble prepared to brief the king. The situation demanded swift action. As his agents moved out, he contemplated the unfolding crisis with quiet determination. Frustration struck the noble. He realized too late the empire of diabolism had infiltrated far deeper than expected. An alliance was impossible now. Their presence threatened the kingdom's stability. Grim reflection followed. The nation teetered on the brink. Hidden enemies pushed it toward destruction. The noble, burdened with knowledge, understood the urgent need for decisive action before chaos spread. Meanwhile, Noru returned safely from his mission. At the guild, he humbly acknowledged Rhine's help. The successful hunt marked an important milestone, yet deeper threats loomed just beyond their awareness. Noru and Rhine returned. At the guild, they discussed the unusual goblin's magic stone. Its placement defied logic. Even seasoned members questioned if it had truly been a goblin. As doubt spread, Rhine firmly confirmed their foe was genuine. The strange red gem held its life force. Noru reflected quietly. Without it, the creature couldn't have regenerated endlessly. Suddenly, Noru used Hell Flare, destroying the gem. The guildmaster panicked without proof. No payment could be issued. Calmly, Noru accepted responsibility. He valued safety over rewards. Noru calmly accepted praise for the mission. Rhine politely took her leave. Unexpectedly, Prince Rhine appeared with a request. He needed Noru's unique skills for an urgent mission. Surprised by the prince's direct plea, Noru hesitated. Rhine watched silently. The prince emphasized the importance. A mission in a distant, dangerous town. Only Noru could handle it now. Seeing the prince's determination, Noru considered. The task seemed grave. Without arrogance, he understood the trust placed in him. Finally, Noru nodded, accepting the mission that would test him further. Noru received special permission for an outside mission. Though ranked F, he saw this as a rare chance. With Rhine, he prepared to leave the royal capital, curious about the world. The carriage rolled through the countryside. Noru enjoyed the sights, secretly excited about the journey. Rhine respectfully thanked him for bringing her. Their destination, the mountainous town, with uncertainty ahead. As they traveled, Noru reflected on the mission and its reward. Yet he valued the experience more. With Rhine beside him, he resolved to face whatever challenges would arise. Noru traveled alongside Rhine for their new mission. Grateful for the chance to explore, he remained cautious. Rhine reminded him of her duty to escort and protect him during the journey. Demonstrating her abilities, Rhine summoned a divine shield, reassuring Noru of her capabilities. Impressed, Noru realized her strength mirrored the elite warriors. He trusted her protection as they ventured forward. Noru reflected on a past battle against a powerful foe. Comparing Rhine's strength, he felt more confident. Learning she could duel dragons eased his worries as they prepared for potential dangers. While riding, Noru noticed strange tracks in the fields. Movement caught his eye. Unsure of the threat, he alerted Rhine. The field seemed disturbed, hinting that something dangerous approached unseen. Rhine and Noru scanned the area. A mysterious presence concealed itself nearby. Rhine activated her magic to reveal it. The carriage halted. Both sensed a growing threat ready to emerge. A terrifying creature appeared from the fields. Its distorted form radiated ominous energy. A lone girl stood vulnerable before it. Noru and Rhine prepared to confront this new and powerful enemy. Rhine gasped, recognizing the creature. Noru, without hesitation, dashed toward the girl in danger. The monstrous beast loomed large. Fear gripped the child as the creature's claw reached toward her. Breathless, the girl trembled in the grass. The creature's claw swiped down. Noru sprinted faster, determined. In that crucial moment, he reached her, shielding her from the deadly strike. Noru parried the creature's assault, holding the child close. Face to face with the beast, he recognized it, a giant toad lurking beneath the fields. His resolve hardened, ready to fight. 200 years ago, demons lost the war against the sacred religion kingdom. Now hunted, they live as fugitives. Among them, a young demon girl hides, exhausted, in the shadows. Captured by cruel men, the girl endures endless beatings. Speaking or silent, it matters not. A blow lands for each glance. Bloodied and broken, she wonders why her life persists. Despite brutal punishments, the girl refuses to rebel. She understands their hatred but cannot change her nature. Weakened and alone, she silently resolves to endure, clinging to the hope of freedom. She feels every blow. Each strike teaches her pain, and how others feel it too. When they learned she could sense their thoughts, the hatred against her only grew. One captor offers food if she obeys. Before her, bound monsters squirm. His words tempt her starving body. Yet the threat is clear: serve them or face further torment alone. She cannot read his mind, his circlet shields him. Disobedience brings punishment. Obedience brings rare kindness. For now, she must choose compliance, though her heart whispers resistance beneath her battered, silent exterior. She trembles. If she disobeys, they will beat her and her friends. This time, it's not a choice she must kill. Before her stands a powerful monster, her deadly target. A concealment spell fails. The black dragon senses her. Panic strikes, she loses control. No time to recast. Her heart pounds, her friends will suffer for this failure. Despair grips her. Useless, she curses herself. No control, no chance. Her friend's pain weighs heavily. A single thought surfaces amid chaos. Perhaps death is her only escape from this cruel, endless torment. She dreams of a second life free from pain, free from hurting others. A life where she could be kind, eat good food, and no longer live in fear. Suddenly, a warrior appears. Blade drawn, he intercepts the dragon's deadly strike. Lightning crackles. She watches in shock. His swift, fearless movements shatter the monster's assault in an instant. Steel flashes. The warrior's blade dances, forcing the dragon back. Its roars fill the air. Beside him, she trembles. Hope flickers. Maybe, just maybe, this fight could change everything. The warrior strikes fast. Against the dragon and summoned toad, he holds firm. He buys time for his allies to arrive, yet the enemy's power surges, pressing him harder. The dragon's dark blast rushes forward. The warrior's mind races. Dodging means the child behind him will die. No choice. Gritting his teeth, he prepares to intercept the lethal blow. With swift resolve, the warrior parries the blast. Debris flies. Dust shrouds the scene. His heart pounds, unsure if he succeeded. Slowly, his eyes widen. What fate awaits them now? Bloodied, the warrior holds the dragon's corpse. But venom courses through him. Vision blurs, body weakens. He recalls too late. Inez had tried to warn him mid-battle of the poison. Nearby, Rinna hesitates. Her mission is to protect others, but the warrior's fall stirs her heart. Should she intervene? Orders bind her, yet loyalty and instinct war within her. The prince's shadowy command echoes. Another hidden agenda lies beneath this mission. Rinne's gaze hardens. Despite orders, her resolve sharpens. She must choose whom to save and whom to trust. A grave plan unfolds. If disaster strikes, Rinne and Noor must be escorted to safety. But doubts rise. Was this ambush planned? Their path now leads dangerously near the city. Rinne weighs choices. Noor, though not a demon, fights selflessly. She admires his instinct to protect. Meanwhile, danger looms. Priority shifts. Shielding others must come first, even against overwhelming odds. At that moment, the dragon readies venom. A warning cries out. Rinne must defend. Noor regrets he could have stopped this. Yet fate turns. Now, all eyes watch the next move. As the dragon prepares to strike, hope fades. Rinne fears Noor has already fallen. Inez urges retreat. Yet Renee steels herself she will shield the others, no matter the cost. A deadly blast nears. A figure intervenes, hands outstretched, summoning a protective barrier. "Take cover," echoes the command. Magic shields shimmer, thin defenses against the overwhelming power about to hit. Rin reinforces the shield. "Strengthen," she cries. Arcane energy surges. The shield braces under the dragon's attack. Behind her, allies huddle. The next seconds will decide life or death for all. Birds scatter, danger looms. Rinna readies her shield. Inez pleads, "Don't risk your life." But Rinna remembers Noor's words. Determined, she steps forward. The world he spoke of is worth fighting for. Memories of her father, Dandalg, surface. Revered and powerful, he inspires envy and hope. Noor faced the dragon recklessly. Rinna blames herself, she knew he wasn't strong enough to survive. Yet hope flickers. Amid venomous fog, a sound impossible. Noor still fights. Rinna senses a silver lining through the poison. The one her father respected might yet defy death itself. Poisoned and battered, Noor strikes again. Against all odds, his blade clashes with the dragon. Rinne watches. Stunned, he still fights within the venomous fog when death seems certain. Venom fills the air, deadly to breathe. Yet Noor battles on. Rinne feels helpless. Even holy potions won't save him. Yet he stands, unwavering, fighting while she falters in indecision. Even idiot cannot describe his resolve. Noor embodies the ideal shield, risking everything to protect strangers. In this moment, Rinne's heart shifts. His foolishness becomes the bravery she secretly yearned for. Almost defeated, Noor stands firm. The dragon's shadow looms, dark and relentless. Venom clouds his lungs. Yet blade in hand, he readies one last desperate strike to protect the weak. His sword meets the dragon's attack. But strength fades, he collapses, gasping. The world blurs. Yet even fallen, his resolve burns. Bloodied fingers twitch, unwilling to surrender to the darkness. Eyes flutter open, he lies upon a bed, weak yet alive. Noor gazes at his scarred hand. "That seems better," he whispers, hope returning. The battle is not yet over. Noel returned from the mountains with wild ingredients. He sorted them carefully, for drying, pickling, cooking. Remembering his late mother's warnings, he prepared a forbidden dish, driven by curiosity and solitude. Steam rose from the pot. Noel tasted the dish. Moments later, dizziness struck and his vision blurred. The bowl slipped from his grasp. He collapsed, the room falling eerily silent. Face down on the floor, Noel struggled to breathe. A single ominous mushroom rolled beside him. It was dragonbane mushroom. As darkness closed in, one thought echoed: he must survive. The mushroom's poison was deadly. Noel felt paralyzed and nauseated. His fingers lost sensation. Realizing his mistake, he repeatedly cast low heal. He stabilized slightly but remained cautious to avoid worsening the effect. Slowly regaining movement, Noel rose unsteadily. He wondered how long he had been unconscious. Determined, he resumed training despite lingering weakness. The thought of wasted time pushed him to continue. Weakened, Noel fought to lift his sword. He collapsed again, gasping. With trembling hands, he crawled forward. Not enough strength remained. Gritting his teeth, he vowed to endure or die trying. Noel's pain worsened. His organs deteriorated. Headache spread. He collapsed again, nearly unconscious. Days passed in agony. Weeks later, he still awaited death, unable to fight back, trapped by his fading strength. Suddenly, Noel noticed the bleeding stopped. He recovered, surprised. Starving, he hunted cautiously. Though weak, he hadn't eaten since the poisoning. Despite danger, hunger forced him into the forest once again. Noel encountered a poisonous snake. Bitten, he braced for death again. Yet nothing happened. Realizing the poison no longer affected him, he sat calmly, his resilience growing through every near-death experience. Noel prepared the poisonous snake carefully. Its venom dripped away. He recalled his mother's warning. But now his body resisted poison. Hungry and determined, he roasted the meat, watching it cook. Despite doubts, Noel ate the meat. Its taste was incredible. He devoured every bite, hunger overpowering caution. Surprisingly, he felt no illness. Encouraged, he realized his body fully resisted poison now. Noel craved the flavor again. He planned to hunt more snakes tomorrow. Confident and stronger, he acknowledged his progress. His recovery amazed him. Today's ordeal had transformed his limits once again. Noel tested himself again. Another poisonous snake bite caused no harm. He realized his resistance came from the dragonbane mushroom. His low heal skill likely improved, granting him unexpected poison immunity. Driven by curiosity, Noel hunted more poisonous creatures. He consumed scorpions, plants, testing their effects. Some nearly killed him, but low heal saved him. Though no new skill emerged, he persisted. Noel embraced his new diet. Poisonous foods became his staple. He still felt minor effects, but trusted his resilience. Each meal strengthened his body further. Now he enjoyed poisonous food confidently. Noel sprinted forward. Poisoned blood seeped from his wounds, but he pressed on. With practice ease, he cast low heel mid-battle. Poison remained, but it no longer stopped his movements. A fierce monster blocked Noel's path. Its deadly breath filled the air. Observing its grotesque claws and overwhelming presence, others hesitated. Yet Noel faced it alone, determined to overcome the threat. Noel analyzed the monster calmly. Its enlarged throat revealed a dangerous final attack. Gripping his sword tighter, he prepared to counter. The next move would decide life or death. The monster unleashed its final attack. Noel reacted instantly. With perfect timing, he parried the blow. His strength and precision redirected the force. The monster's momentum now worked against itself. Noel's parry shattered the monster's balance. His counterstrike followed without pause. Claws, flesh, and bone gave way under the assault. Onlookers watched in shock as the beast crumpled beneath Noel's strikes. The battlefield fell silent. Noel stood before the defeated monster. Others observed in disbelief. A wary figure approached, warning him. Noel remained alert. His eyes reflected resolve, ready for what followed. After the battle, Noel eyed the poisonous toad. He imagined its flavor once cooked. Though exhausted, he refocused. There was no time to indulge. He had to check everyone's safety. Approaching a nearby girl, Noel ensured she was unharmed. Concerned, she offered help, noting his poor condition. They discussed the battle's outcome. Noel revealed he hadn't come alone, there was more. Hearing the girl's mission, Noel connected the dots. The toad was destined for the city. Shocked, he realized its potential. The toad wasn't just a monster, it was food to him. Noel learned the city had techniques to process poisonous food. The girl had used presence concealment for safe transport. Noel considered the value of such food and imagined many possible trade opportunities. Noel expressed regret for damaging the transport mission. The girl reassured him. She explained she used her power to control the toad. Surprised, Noel questioned how she had managed this feat. The girl revealed her ability: innate monster manipulation. Noel marveled at such a power. They discussed it further. Though unsure if it was a skill, she confirmed it was natural. The girl revealed she was a demon. Her kin shared the same monster-controlling ability. Because of this, many feared and hated her. She stood unsure, revealing her true nature to Noel. Noel listened calmly. He expressed no fear. Instead, he admired her ability. He suggested practical uses, controlling animals for farming and protection. His perspective surprised her, offering hope and acceptance. Moved by Noel's words, the girl questioned herself. Could her power truly help others? For the first time, she saw her ability's value. Noel's kindness began to change her view. The girl reflected on Noel's strength. Though blessed with ability, Noel remained humble. She saw how he helped others. Inspired, she began to believe her own power could be used for good. Noel gently reassured her. With a kind gesture, he told her she would surpass him if she kept moving forward. Encouraged, the girl felt hope for her future path. Noel faced the poisonous dragon alone. The sky split, the ground shook. Amidst fierce clashes, he stood unyielding. Against all odds, the human outlasted the beast. Silence followed. Victory was his. Mira rushed to Noel. Blood covered him. She panicked, offering healing. Calmly, Noel explained, his wounds had healed. His body resisted poison. Mira, concerned, insisted. Noel smiled, assuring her, "I'm okay." They observed the land. A defiling aura lingered. Mira analyzed it, not fatal but dangerous. Noel's resistance amazed her. Yet a question remained: what force had corrupted this place so deeply? A sacred aura appeared. Only sages mastered it. Noel recalled Sirsain, a revered healer. The aura purified all wounds. Few attained this power. Legend spoke of immense discipline to achieve it. Mira checked Noel. He struggled but insisted he was fine. She examined him, surprised a demon. His appearance confirmed it. They debated, why would a demon child appear here, injured and alone? Noel chose compassion. "Let's take him along," he said. Mira questioned him, but trusted his judgment. Demons were rare, feared for manipulating monsters. Yet this child seemed different. The journey now shifted. Noor and the girl encounter a demon boy. Concerned, she warns about attracting monsters. Noor insists on delivering a poisonous black dragon. Reluctantly, they prepare to transport both the dragon and boy. The girl questions Noor's delivery promise. Noor admits ignorance about the recipient. Urged to speak truthfully, he senses mounting tension. Fear clouds his mind as uncertainty grows. The girl presses further. The girl discovers the boy is a slave, used as a pawn. Gently questioning him, she learns he was blindfolded, with no home. Sympathy stirs. They vow to help him. Noor insists on helping the demon boy. They plan to escort him near the city. Doubt surfaces he is still a demon. Ryan warns it's risky, trust cannot be given easily. Prompted, Ryan reflects, her father's wisdom echoes. Judge with your own eyes. Shame fills her. Why distrust him for being a demon? Guilt softens her heart toward the lonely boy. Noor kindly asks the boy's name. Roro, he answers softly. Noor smiles warmly. A bond begins. Roro, once a pawn and outcast, now finds a glimmer of hope among strangers. Ryan agrees with Noor. Roro should come, yet problems arise. The religious kingdom forbids demons. Noor suggests walking if needed. They all weigh the risk of provoking hostility on their journey. Ryan reflects, demons were once hated as enemies of the god. Taking Roro openly may incite danger. Leaving him behind poses risks too. Uncertainty lingers, tension building within the group. Suddenly, strange energy surrounds Roro. The group reacts in shock. Something unexpected awakens within the boy. Power surges, altering the moment's course. What should have been simple now transforms unpredictably. A new figure appears. The boy speaks. Long dead, the group watches, tense. This blindfolded man exudes danger. Noor and Ryan realize this is no ordinary encounter. A deeper mystery unfolds. The stranger confirms this is the delivery. He questions Noor's survival against defiling aura. Noor admits no knowledge of its weight. The man, skeptical yet curious, tests Noor's intentions further. Noor apologizes, unsure of the stranger's motives. The man dismisses the delivery's importance, eyeing something else entirely. Tension rises. The group senses hidden stakes beyond their mission. New dangers now await. Noor realizes the man targets Roro. The stranger confirms he wants Roro for profit. The air thickens with threat. Noor and Ryan brace, unwilling to surrender the frightened boy. Ryan confronts him. Why chase Roro? The man only seeks the bounty, dead or alive. Without mercy, he attacks. Noor shields Roro. A fierce clash begins. Survival. Now uncertain, Noor questions the stranger's motives. The answer chills him. Roro's corpse is valuable. Noor tightens his resolve. He won't let them harm the boy. The battle escalates, swords clashing hard. Noor can't understand the stranger's words. Suddenly, the man vanishes from sight. Noor reacts too late. The enemy's speed overwhelms them. A deadly game of cat and mouse begins. The blindfolded man strikes fast. Noor instinctively parries the blow, shielding Ryan. Sparks fly. Everyone is shocked. The enemy circles again, his movements too swift for even Noor's trained eyes. Sensing danger, the man targets Ryan. He mutters, suspicious. Noor commands Ryan to take cover. Blade ready, Noor prepares to defend both her and Roro. The fight intensifies. The enemy lunged from above with deadly force. Noor stepped forward, shielding his companions. His blade moved instinctively, deflecting the strike. The sudden clash sent a shockwave across the battlefield. Another swift attack followed. Noor's parry sent the enemy recoiling. Sparks danced in the air. Despite the relentless assault, Noor stood firm, protecting those behind him with unshakable resolve. The enemy reevaluated Noor's strength. Each deflected blow revealed unexpected power. His movements grew more cautious. Noor, unwavering, prepared for the next assault. The tide of the battle began to turn. The enemy adjusted his stance, preparing a new attack. Sparks flared as blades clashed again. He gauged Noor's endurance with curiosity, then launched another devastating strike without hesitation. A massive shockwave burst forth. Ryan struggled to approach. The air trembled with raw force. She shielded Roro, aware the escalating battle was far beyond an ordinary encounter. The enemy's true identity became clear: an S-ranked adventurer known as Deathbringer Sadhu. His killing intent surged. Noor faced a formidable opponent, the odds of victory growing ever uncertain. In Serenissa, Sadhu's legend began. He rose swiftly as an adventurer, unmatched in potential. By age 20, he reached S-rank, a feat most never achieved in their lifetime. Gifted in alchemy, swordsmanship, and magic, Sadhu drew both admiration and envy. Yet beneath the praise, rumors lingered. His origins were unknown. His rise to power attracted curious and wary eyes. Then came a massacre. A merchant family, 36 lives lost. Sadhu, the murderer, confessed without remorse. The task was simple, the reward great. His name became a whispered terror. The guild debated Sadhu's fate. Some saw his talent, others condemned his crimes. Though his actions blurred law and morality, his unmatched strength made expulsion a difficult decision. The incident faded. Sadhu resumed his work, never questioning requests. His sole purpose, complete the task. Each mission, whether noble or cruel, received the same cold efficiency. With overwhelming strength and no moral restraint, Sadhu shaped history with blood. Entire armies fell. On one mission, he executed every royal family member, leaving a nation in ruin. Sadhu's brutal efficiency toppled a nation. To many, it resembled a goblin skirmish, swift and merciless. The world had yet to grasp the true scale of his destruction. Opinions divided. Some saw Sadhu as a hero, rulers feared him. He followed no moral code. With each mission, fear spread. His shadow grew heavier across both commoners and kings. Rumored dead by guild alliance, Sadhu now stood before them alive. The records claimed otherwise. Noor and Ryan braced for battle, facing a man thought lost to history. A vast fortune was spent recruiting elite adventurers to defeat Sadhu. Thousands fell in vain. His true strength turned the battlefield into a massacre, their lives sacrificed for little gain. To prevent further loss, the guild declared Sadhu dead. Yet whispers of his survival remained. Among those who knew the truth, the name Deathbringer continued to spread in fear. In battle, Sadhu's weapons shattered one by one. Noor's parries overwhelmed even orichalcum and dragon tusk blades. The clash grew fiercer, steel failing against Noor's unmatched defensive prowess. Sadhu sensed something strange about Noor's resilience. Realizing the fight required full effort, he drew a unique sword. Its eerie glow hinted at dangerous power beyond ordinary steel. Preparing to unleash his hidden skills, Sadhu shifted his stance. Magic surged through the blade. The air trembled. Ryan recognized the buildup. Sadhu was ready to reveal a deadly technique. Sadhu activated Silver Cross, an alchemy-based skill. Countless blade replicas materialized, filling the sky. Designed to overwhelm armies, this devastating attack now targeted Noor and his allies in seconds. The sky filled with hundreds of spinning blades. Sadhu unleashed the storm. Noor prepared himself, shielded his companions, and struck with precision. The deadly barrage began to descend relentlessly. Noor deflected wave after wave, his blade moving with impossible speed. Yet the storm intensified. One strike slipped through, wounding him. Pain surged, but his determination remained unbroken. The silver cross blades multiplied further. Ryan watched in alarm. Noor couldn't hold out forever. The enemy advanced calmly, the battle's pace quickened. Noor braced for the next overwhelming onslaught. Ryan struggled with indecision. She wanted to help Noor, yet her duty bound her to protect Roro. With resolve, she chose to act, stepping forward to join the fight. Noor continued parrying the relentless silver cross barrage, wounds mounting. He fought to shield both allies. His stamina waned, but sheer willpower kept him standing amid the swirling storm. Realizing parrying alone would not suffice, Noor invoked God's shield. A radiant barrier formed, halting the deadly blades. For a moment, a fragile respite emerged within the chaos. Sadhu prepared another attack, advancing swiftly. The silver cross blades swarmed again. Noor maintained his defense, shielding both Ryan and Roro, but the pressure grew unbearable with each passing moment. Inez arrived, her shield glowing with protective energy. Without hesitation, she joined Noor, reinforcing their defense. Together they formed a barrier, holding back the relentless storm threatening to overwhelm them. With firm resolve, Inez stood beside Noor, deflecting the incoming blades. Her presence renewed their strength. Side by side, they fought to protect Ryan and Roro from certain doom. Sadhu unleashed a devastating wave of silver cross blades. The onslaught spread across the battlefield, seeking to overwhelm the defenders. The sky shimmered with deadly light as the storm advanced. Inez reinforced the shield, taking charge of defense. Noor analyzed the situation. Mere defense wouldn't suffice. They needed a counterattack. Time was running out as Sadhu's silver cross swarmed closer. Observing the pattern, Noor devised a plan. He prepared broken poison toad fragments used once before. With precision, he aimed to disrupt the sentient blades, seeking a chance to turn the tide. Noor devised a bold plan. He instructed Inez to drop the barrier on his signal. Channeling energy into his body, he prepared for a decisive move to counterattack. With enhanced strength and speed, Noor launched forward. His movement blurred with precision. Harnessing momentum, he executed launching rock, aiming to shatter the encroaching silver cross blades in one strike. The fragments of broken dragon pieces struck true. The advancing blades shattered under the unexpected assault. From behind, Inez watched in awe as Noor disrupted the overwhelming magical storm. With renewed confidence, Noor pressed forward. He systematically shattered the remaining silver cross blades. Each calculated strike weakened Sadhu's assault. The tide of battle began to shift in Noor's favor. The battlefield cleared. Noor scanned for Sadhu. The air crackled with tension. Few blades remained. Every step carried determination. Victory was close, but vigilance remained crucial against the elusive enemy. Suddenly, Sadhu attacked. Noor reacted instinctively, parrying the swift strike. The clash echoed with force. Though wounded and fatigued, Noor's resolve held firm. The battle between them entered its climax. Sadhu examined his shattered blade, adamantite, now broken. The battle had cost him dearly. Acknowledging Noor's unexpected strength, he weighed the fight's worth, considering his next move carefully. Deciding to withdraw, Sadhu ended the fight. Repairing his weapons would take time. He hinted at a future encounter, leaving Noor and his companions wary of what awaited ahead. Sadhu's words lingered a festival at the royal capital. Noor and Rhine exchanged glances. The city's silhouette appeared in the distance. The battle had ended, but a new chapter awaited. The battle ended. Noor and Rhine pondered Sadhu's cryptic mention of the festival. Curiosity sparked questions. The capital awaited. What lay ahead was uncertain, yet undeniably important for their journey. Sadhu took his leave with a wry smile. His parting words hinted at future schemes. Noor and Rhine remained vigilant, knowing their paths would likely cross again before long. As Sadhu departed, his interest in capturing Roro lingered. Though retreating, he saw opportunity. Noor stood firm, ready to protect the boy. The festival's promise now carried unseen dangers ahead. Sadhu unleashed one final strike. Noor parried with unyielding focus, protecting Roro. The confrontation reached its peak. Both sides exchanged a flurry of blows, neither willing to yield ground. Realizing the odds had shifted, Sadhu chose to retreat. His parting move cloaked his exit in smoke. Noor stood vigilant, aware this battle was but the prelude to more. As calm returned, the group discussed the royal capital. The grand festival seemed suspicious. With newfound determination, they prepared to journey onward, uncertain of what dangers still awaited them. After the battle, Noor checked on Roro. The boy hesitated, fear clouding his thoughts. Something about the royal capital troubled him. Noor sensed the boy carried deeper worries. Roro revealed alarming news: a great threat approached the capital. Compared to it, the black dragon was nothing. If left unchecked, this danger could bring devastation upon the entire city. Faced with grim possibilities, the group debated their next move. Inez proposed an urgent return. Despite orders, she couldn't ignore the threat. Determination hardened. Protecting the capital now became their mission. Inez wrestled with duty and family. Though bound by her brother's orders, she resolved to act. The danger to the royal capital outweighed personal commands. She chose to return. United in purpose, the group prepared to head back. Inez vowed not to abandon her allies. Together, they would face the coming threat. Escaping alone was no longer an option. Even Roro offered to help, despite uncertainty. His connection to the source of the threat hinted at deeper truths. Strengthened by resolve, the group set their course for the capital. Inez rode swiftly toward the capital. The threat ahead weighed heavily on her. Yet with Noor's strength proven, she believed hope remained. No matter the cost, they had to fight. The capital teetered on the edge. Goblin Emperor forces had emerged, their lairs exposed. Powerful monsters plagued the city. Adventurers scrambled to respond. A deeper, darker threat loomed unseen. Elite guards trained in secrecy prepared to defend the capital. Their vigilance was unmatched. Yet the next attack remained a mystery. In the shadows, enemies plotted their devastating next move. The elite scouts searched tirelessly through the capital. Every alley, forest, and labyrinth had been checked. No trace of the next threat appeared, leaving a tense silence hanging over all. From the tower, a vigilant scout surveyed the skies. Below lay an empty city, prepared for defense. Above, the clouds seemed unnaturally still, hiding something unseen and ominous. Suddenly, an eerie sight emerged above the clouds. The scout's heart raced. A hidden force hovered unseen until now. Realization struck: the true enemy's assault would descend from the skies. Determined to act, the scout ascended. The enemy couldn't remain hidden forever. Preparing countermeasures, he began disarming the concealed spell cloaking the sky. The true threat was about to be revealed. The sky shimmered unnaturally. With the spell broken, a colossal shape emerged. The scout's eyes widened in shock. A legendary dragon loomed above. Wings spread wide, its presence overwhelming the heavens. The black demon dragon appeared in ancient terror. Its breath had once annihilated cities in a single night. Now, it soared again, heralding destruction. The capital faced a nightmare reborn. Panic spread through the defenders. The black demon dragon, thought lost to time, now soared above. Who could have awakened it? Desperation grew. The enemy's plan was more sinister than anyone imagined. Evacuation began. Leaders ordered citizens to flee. The capital could not withstand the coming storm. Streets emptied as guards ushered people out. Hope now rested on those willing to stand. Inez and her group approached the city. From their carriage they glimpsed the terrible dragon above. Its dark wings cast a shadow of dread. The true battle was about to begin. The group faced grim reality. The black demon dragon loomed above the capital. Fear gripped them. Inez worried for her father. Noor assessed the situation. Time was running dangerously short. Inez pleaded for her father to flee. Yet the 6 saints and warriors stood ready to fight. Noor made a decision. Rescuing now was impossible. Their priority: regroup and prepare. Determined to act, Noor proposed using Windblast for swift travel. Confidence surged after past victories. Inez prepared to support the spell, aware the shock would be immense but necessary. Noor steadied himself, empowered by his sword. Pain was inevitable, but he accepted it. If running became necessary, he trusted in his endurance. The plan to escape was underway. Inez prepared the protective shield. Magic energy gathered around her. The shield's power concentrated, designed to withstand the shock. With determination, she positioned herself ready to support Noor's next move. Spells activated in rapid sequence. Barriers layered with precision. Energy surged. Inez focused completely, pushing her limits. This time, the force would exceed the previous attempt. Everyone braced for the impact. With immense force, the 6 choruses spell activated. Wind blast spiraled into a massive vortex. Noor was launched forward, propelled at incredible speed toward their next critical objective. Clouds parted in the distance. Inez whispered a silent plea for Noor's safety. The fight was far from over. Ahead, unseen threats awaited. The next chapter had begun. The royal capital burned. Chaos spread through the streets. In the shadows, the true masterminds moved. In a darkened chamber, the Goblin Emperor's terrifying presence marked a new threat. A tense council gathered. Desperation filled the room. The enemy demanded the kingdom's labyrinth resources. For a land poor in wealth, this concession would leave them powerless. Tensions escalated. Talks collapsed. The enemy's envoy left with a grim warning: prepare for destruction. The fragile peace crumbled. War loomed. The kingdom stood at the brink, its fate now uncertain. The capital burned. The king reflected on the failed negotiation. Guilt weighed on him. The enemy's overwhelming power left the kingdom in its worst state. Hope seemed to flicker faintly. Prince Ryan assumed command. He organized the forces with resolve. Yet even as they prepared, the king knew the enemy's strength eclipsed theirs. It was a battle against overwhelming odds. With grim determination, the king advanced alone. The black demon dragon loomed before him. Knowing full well the danger he faced, the beast, some evils could not be destroyed, yet he would fight. Inez raced back toward the capital. The peaceful city she had left now lay in ruins. Determined, she led the charge. The fate of the kingdom weighed heavily on her. As they neared the heart of the city, a sudden threat emerged. The ground shook. Something powerful approached. Inez and her companions braced themselves for an imminent confrontation. The Goblin Emperor revealed itself, charging through the streets with devastating force. Inez reacted swiftly, dodging the colossal strike. The battle for the capital had truly begun. There was no turning back. Inez charged to the front, determined to hold the line. Goblin warriors advanced relentlessly. The battlefield erupted into chaos. With swift commands, Inez coordinated defenses to shield Rhine and the others. The goblins attacked from all sides. Inez raised a magical shield just in time, deflecting a devastating strike. The protective barrier shimmered under the impact, buying precious moments for her allies. The immediate threat repelled. Rhine and Inez regrouped. Gratitude passed between them. Though the battle raged on, their bond strengthened. Together they prepared to face the next wave of danger. The goblin forces pressed on. Though smaller than those Noor had faced, these monsters radiated menace. Inez assessed the battlefield. If they hesitated, the enemy numbers would soon overwhelm them. Drawing strength from Noor's teachings, Inez resolved to act. Strategy in mind, she steadied her stance. The towering dragon still loomed in the distance, but first, the goblin threat must fall. With swift precision, Inez unleashed Ice Dance. The chilling magic cut through the enemy ranks, her speed unmatched. Goblins fell one by one compared to the dragon. These foes were nothing. Roro invoked Stand Still, freezing the goblins mid-charge. The sudden halt disrupted their formation. Inez seized the opportunity. Together they prepared to unleash a coordinated magical and physical assault. With a commanding shout, Inez cast Ice Hell. A freezing wave engulfed the enemies. The goblins were trapped in ice, immobilized. The battlefield shifted, momentum swinging toward the defenders. Inez moved decisively. With the shield lowered, she drew the divine sword. Its radiant edge cut through the frozen foes. One by one, the goblin threat was neutralized with precision. The divine sword radiated with lethal grace. Inez wielded it effortlessly, slicing through the frozen goblins. Her mastery of sword and shield earned her the title Swordmaster, a beacon on the battlefield. Roro's powers proved invaluable. With a single command, he immobilized even the towering goblins. Witnessing his bravery and strength, Ryan admired the boy's resolve to fight for Noor's safety. Meanwhile, the king readied himself. The looming battle stirred old instincts. Though burdened by the crown, his warrior's heart surged. This fight reminded him of days once spent in the labyrinth. The black demon dragon charged its devastating breath. Magic warped the space around it. The light of destruction, a legendary force, threatened to annihilate all in its path. The king remained resolute. Knowing the risk, he prepared to face the beast alone. His duty as ruler demanded sacrifice. Thoughts of Noor, Inez, and Ryan steeled his resolve. Channeling immense power, the king unleashed explosive sword. His blade struck with unmatched force. The battle's outcome hung in the balance as the king confronted the ancient terror head-on. The black demon dragon unleashed its legendary light of destruction. Blinding energy surged forth, warping the air. In a daring move, the king executed a perfect parry, redirecting the deadly force. The redirected blast struck the dragon, catching it off guard. The king's bold counter stunned both allies and foes. His years of experience and resolve now turned the tide of battle. The dragon recoiled, wings flaring wide. The battle reached a new crescendo. Though the king stood alone, his defiance against the ancient terror inspired hope across the embattled capital. A lone figure descended from the sky. Noor had arrived, his timing perfect. Below, the black demon dragon reeled, momentarily disoriented. The battle's momentum shifted once more, a new clash imminent. Noor regained consciousness midair. Blown away by Ryan's magic, he now plummeted toward the ground. Panic struck. If he couldn't react fast, the fall would end his life. Assessing the situation quickly, Noor activated body-strengthening magic. His limbs responded. The uncontrolled descent slowed, but inertia remained. With the city walls approaching fast, he searched for a solution. Spotting a potential landing point, Noor aimed to redirect momentum. A narrow window remained to act. He braced himself, determined to survive and return to aid his comrades below. Noor launched forward, using his momentum. The city walls rushed past. Regaining control, he spotted the black demon dragon. Its massive form now loomed directly ahead, danger imminent. Speed unchecked, Noor braced himself. Narrowly avoiding a collision, he redirected with his sword midair. Landing rough but alive, he prepared mentally to face the overwhelming threat before him. Catching his breath, Noor evaluated the situation. He survived the fall. Determined, he resolved to share his experience with Ryan. The battle wasn't over. His strength and resolve remained. Facing the towering black demon dragon, Noor stood ready. The beast's overwhelming presence shook the battlefield. He sensed the danger. Every instinct warned him this opponent would not be easily stopped. Suddenly, a strange light emerged. The dragon faltered midair, confused. Noor noticed a falling object, a needle of light. The dragon's behavior changed. Noor braced, preparing for an unexpected development. Landing amidst debris, Noor scanned the sky. The dragon's gaze shifted toward him, irritated. It prepared to strike. Noor readied himself, aware that the true battle was only beginning. The black demon dragon landed violently, crushing towers beneath its claws. The city trembled. Noor stood his ground. The enemy's might was immense, but retreat was not an option. With calculated precision, the dragon swung its claw. Noor reacted instantly, blade in hand. Amid falling debris, he deflected the massive strike. Shock filled the dragon's eyes. This human endured. Amidst the rubble, Noor panted. The parry had worked. The dragon, enraged and confused, reevaluated its opponent. Noor gripped his sword tightly. The battle had escalated. He had no room for error. The black demon dragon's massive strike shattered the ground. Noor braced himself. Amid the destruction, he stood firm, blade ready. The dragon's rage grew. The human remained unbroken. The dragon launched its tail, aiming to crush Noor. He parried again, shocking the beast. Its gaze narrowed. Realizing the threat, the dragon prepared a devastating counterattack. Noor watched closely. Energy gathered in the dragon's mouth, a fatal blast forming. Noor gripped his sword tighter. This attack would be different. One mistake meant death. He steadied his breathing, eyes sharp. Noru awoke midair, thrown far by Ryan's magic. Plummeting fast, he gathered strength. Body-enhancing magic slowed the fall. Below, a fortress loomed. No time remained. He must land safely now. He landed hard, eyes catching the black demon dragon. It approached. Noru barely parried its strike. The beast was puzzled. Undeterred, Noru prepared again. One wrong move here meant death. Noru launched a luminous spear skyward. The dragon followed its arc, confused. The weapon curved back, an unstoppable force. Aimed perfectly, the spear hurtled downward. One strike meant victory or doom. A towering dragon landed with fiery force. Noru faced it, sword ready. Flames roared around him. The dragon recognized an unusual power. With narrowed eyes, it prepared to crush this lone human. Noru stood firm, unwavering. The dragon sensed traces of blessing. This was no ordinary foe. Its body tensed. How dare this small human block my path? It roared, fury shaking the ground. The dragon unleashed its full might. Claws extended, it charged. Noru remained still. The clash began, unyielding parry against brutal strength. Sparks flew. A battle of will and skill had truly started. The giant dragon unleashed a savage strike. Rocks flew. Noru stood calm, eyes locked on the beast. A single breath, steady. The dragon advanced, claws and teeth thirsting for blood. Dark instincts consumed the dragon. It vowed to crush Noru completely, rip, bite, stomp, erase. The ground trembled under its fury. Noru's grip tightened. He readied himself for the overwhelming assault. With a roar, the dragon struck. Noru met the force head-on, arms raised, perfect parry. Shockwaves shattered stone, dust swirled. Amid chaos, Noru remained standing, unbroken. The battle had only begun. Noru parried the dragon's ferocious blow. The force rippled outward. He countered with swift precision. The dragon lunged again. Noru sidestepped, blade ready, unyielding. The air cracked with relentless energy. A brilliant clash followed. Noru deflected another strike, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. Dust and debris swirled. The dragon growled in disbelief. Each attack failed. Noru remained untouched, eerily composed. From above, the dragon stared, confused. Why didn't he die? It thought. For millennia, no creature had survived its fury. Yet below stood Noru unharmed. The impossible had become reality. The dragon's claws burned with power. In this world, only the strong rule. It prepared a decisive strike. Noru, calm and steady, faced the towering beast without fear or doubt. The dragon descended, its full might unleashed. The instinct to dominate surged. Noru met the assault head-on. Sword raised, he refused submission. The battle echoed the primal laws of dragons. A sudden shift, Noru's stance held firm. The dragon hesitated mid-swing. For the first time it realized, this human defied natural order. Strength alone would not guarantee victory against him. The dragon paused. Noru showed no hatred or bloodlust. In that moment, the beast sensed no enemy, only calm resolve. Doubt replaced anger. Its instincts now whispered an unsettling truth. The dragon's eyes widened. Understanding dawned. This human, unshaken, held no intent to kill. Strength wasn't Noru's weapon, his unyielding spirit was. The dragon's certainty grew. The battlefield itself seemed to still. Overwhelmed, the dragon recoiled. I am one of the weak, it thought. A crushing realization. Before Noru's indomitable presence, its pride shattered. The great dragon now trembled before a lone human. Breathing heavy, Noru stood tall, sword steady in hand. The dragon, gaze locked with his, sensed no threat, only quiet strength. The battlefield, once chaos, now fell into an eerie calm. The dragon hesitated, confused. Moments ago it had raged. Now, paralyzed before Noru's unwavering resolve. Noru blinked, puzzled. What just happened, he thought. The mighty dragon now seemed strangely passive. From afar, an observer whispered, Parry is even stronger than the dragon. Before all, the beast knelt. Noru's unmatched defense had shattered its will. Strength alone had not won this fight. Noru stood amid the ruins. Rhine rushed to check him. He reassured her. They talked about the battle. Nearby, Roro watched silently, uncertain about her own hidden power. Noru thanked Roro for saving him. She blushed, confused by the praise. Rhine grew curious. How had Roro influenced the dragon? Noru recalled rumors of Roro's mysterious strength and smiled knowingly. Roro denied having power over the dragon. Noru sensed her reluctance. He decided not to press her, choosing instead to act proud of their victory. Together, they began moving forward. Noru asked Roro for a favor, send the dragon home. Though hesitant, Roro agreed. The defeated dragon's gaze softened. Noru believed sparing it was wiser than causing more destruction. Roro prepared to speak with the dragon. Noru reassured her, knowing it was a selfish request. The dragon lay still. Roro approached gently, unsure if her power would work again. Roro began her attempt to communicate. The dragon stirred. Its eyes met hers. A tense moment followed. Noru watched carefully. Roro reacted with surprise, sensing something unexpected from the dragon. Roro faced the dragon. With Noru's request in mind, she calmly ordered it home. The dragon understood. Noru watched, impressed by her ability. The great beast prepared to depart. The dragon soared into the sky, leaving the battlefield. Rhine and her companion observed its unexpected obedience. Noru silently reflected. The group relaxed, but then a strange sensation began to approach. A sudden bright light filled the sky. Noru and the others stood alert. Something unknown was coming fast. Noru clenched his sword, ready. The peaceful moment had ended too soon. A sudden violet beam streaked across the sky. Noru and the others watched in shock. The dragon turned, sensing danger. A powerful shadow approached, targeting the black demon dragon directly. The dragon, Brunak, flinched under the assault. Noru realized the attack wasn't random, it was precise. The others confirmed Brunak as the target. Eyes turned skyward, the outcome uncertain in the chaos. Far away, scouts reported the dragon had been brought down. Soldiers relayed the news. The king, hearing the report, stood sternly. A new phase of the conflict was beginning now. The king laughed coldly. Christ's kingdom's failure was clear. The black demon dragon had ravaged the land. Their mistake had opened the way. Now the invading forces advanced without resistance. The king's ministers conspired. They cared not for the people, only the labyrinth's secrets. Blaming the foolish ruler, they plotted to seize all relics. Their eyes gleamed when speaking of the black sword. The soldiers pressed forward. Their orders were brutal: spare none loyal to the king. The city still stood, partially intact. Yet greed and ambition now fueled the true destruction ahead. The royal army advanced. Their goal was clear: seize the ruins. The black demon dragon was a mere tool. Behind their smiles, the leaders desired ancient power hidden beneath the labyrinth. Cannons roared. The four-gate Brunak and three-engine Aegis deployed. Magic barriers formed. The king observed coldly, knowing betrayal brewed. Alliances were fragile, power the only true currency remaining. The goblin emperor approached. Wounded but unbroken, he limped toward the ruins. Soldiers hesitated. The king's gaze sharpened. "A new threat arrives," he muttered. "Prepare. We'll crush this one too." The king ordered the attack. Soldiers rushed forward. The goblin emperor faced them alone. A magic shield flared. The soldiers hesitated, but the first strike had already begun. Steel clashed. The goblin emperor fought back, wounded but fierce. Soldiers pressed in, surrounding him. Blades flashed, blood spilled. The ancient goblin roared, determined to crush his enemies one last time. A blast erupted, cannons fired. The goblin emperor fell. Soldiers reported calmly, target destroyed. Yet unease lingered. The king watched, eyes narrowed. Victory was hollow. The battle was far from over. The king unveiled new weapons, magic armor, swords and shields, capable of neutralizing magic and physical attacks. Mass production began. The army no longer feared individual power. They prepared to march. Soldiers gathered, ready to confront the demon royal kingdom's enemies. The king scanned the battlefield. A strange presence appeared near the city. An unidentified figure disrupted their carefully laid plans. The king's forces identified Inez as the source of the disturbance. Observers realized she influenced the battle. The commander suspected her of interfering with the dragon's behavior, complicating their strategy. Inez stood among legends, a force beyond normal warriors. The king targeted her with advanced weaponry. His troops prepared Brunak, a devastating weapon fueled by compressed magic, to eliminate her quickly. With Brunak charged, soldiers ready to fire, the king calculated her value versus the risk. Despite her fame, he chose destruction. A massive blast of light was unleashed toward her position. The deadly beam of heat surged forward. The king expected the shield to fail. His plan: evaporate Inez instantly, leaving no trace. The battlefield trembled as Brunak's power roared outward. Brunak unleashed its devastating beam. The king watched eagerly, believing this would mark the fall of another legend. Soldiers stood in silent formation, witnessing the weapon's blinding strike tear forward. The beam pierced the sky. The ground cracked under its force. The king smiled, certain of victory. Yet an unexpected shift emerged. Something was not unfolding as anticipated in this battle. Noru stood unharmed. Around him, allies stared in shock. The attack had been deflected. Confused, Noru assessed the situation, unaware his unexpected defense had just thwarted the king's most powerful strike. A massive enemy force appeared. Noru and the others assessed the overwhelming numbers. They understood resistance was impossible. Prioritizing safety, they prepared to retreat quickly before the royal army could encircle them. As enemy projectiles rained down, Inez reacted swiftly. She conjured a powerful shield around the group. The god shield absorbed the onslaught, buying precious moments as the battlefield descended into chaos. Within the protective barrier, the group remained unharmed. Observing the relentless assault, they readied for an organized withdrawal. The goal was clear: survive, regroup, and reassess the impossible situation now unfolding. A new glow pierced the battlefield. The group's escape route was cut off. Noru stepped forward, ready to draw the enemy's attention. Inez prepared to assist him with a magical boost. Understanding the danger, Noru devised a plan. He would charge, forcing the enemy to focus on him. Inez supported his decision, enhancing his power. Their actions aimed to ensure everyone's survival. With Inez's magic coursing through him, Noru braced for the impact. He felt the surge of power within. Time was critical. He needed to act before the enemy overwhelmed their position. A fierce blast approached Noru with unstoppable force. Eyes wide, he recognized the danger far beyond his limits. The destructive wind closed in fast. In that moment, Noru believed death was certain. Noru sprinted forward, muscles enhanced. He angled the dark blade behind him. With a leap, he soared into the air, determined to shield himself from the overwhelming impact below. Mid-air, Noru analyzed. Rin's magic caused greater damage than his own. His body still ached from prior battles. Yet, with cracked bones, he braced himself to parry the next strike. As expected, the blade deflected the incoming energy. Noru remained focused. The sword's unknown resistance proved vital. It shielded him once more, allowing Noru to confront the dragon's furious assault. Noru blocked the light's force. The sword felt light, easier to control. Parrying multiple strikes grew manageable. With confidence rising, he prepared himself for even greater attacks coming his way. His control improved. Each movement flowed. The weight of the sword felt natural again. With each parry, Noru's instincts sharpened. He adjusted mid-air, preparing to change tactics against the enemies. Gaining speed, Noru charged forward. His next target lay beyond the immediate foes. Momentum building, he readied his blade, determined to strike precisely where it mattered, deep into enemy lines. Noru enhanced his body. He jumped, using the dark blade to block the blast. His cracked bones ached, but he pushed through. Magic resistance gave him hope against the attack. In mid-air, Noru parried the dragon's light again. The dark blade absorbed the force. He adjusted to its weight. Now moving faster, he planned to redirect this momentum into the enemy. To protect Rin's group, Noru gathered enemies toward himself. He parried attack after attack, slashing through enemy soldiers. Their blades felt light against his single goal: buy time for escape. Noru continued parrying, sword flashing. Blades rained down, but he held firm. He estimated defeating hundreds. Time bought for Rin and the others. He pushed his stamina to its limit. The soldiers hesitated. Their swords shattered mid-air. They struggled to understand the sudden force. Confusion spread among their ranks. Noru's speed disrupted their formation. He kept moving, determined to stall them. Blades above rained again. Soldiers panicked, looking up. Noru's assault disoriented them further. Screams followed. He remained focused, knowing each second mattered. The group had to escape. He would hold the line. The king's forces sensed a disturbance. Alarms spread as swords rain from the sky. Soldiers scramble. Shields fail. No enemy is seen, but panic breaks formation. The commander struggles to control them. Amid the chaos, Noru strikes from afar, disrupting magic defenses. The soldiers' shields vanish. Confusion deepens. Noru's swift movements break their cohesion. The enemy commander realizes the distant threat is dangerously effective. Frustrated, the commander deems his soldiers ineffective. His trump cards falter. Noru, calm and poised, maintains pressure. The king watches, understanding that this unseen force might overturn their superior numbers and technology. Noru appeared before the king, stunning. All his speed defied logic. The king sensed danger. Noru advanced calmly, unwavering. The soldiers froze. A battle of resolve between Noru and the emperor began. The king panicked, realizing Noru's intent to claim his head. Fear crept in. Noru's eyes held no mercy. The confrontation now personal. Emperor braced. The face-off would decide the war's course. The emperor sensed danger. He activated his strongest defense, the conqueror's armor of orichalcum. Tension rose as Noru approached, calm but determined. The emperor prepared for a decisive confrontation. The emperor regained composure. His armor could repel any attack. He drew his sword, confident in its power. Facing Noru's unwavering advance, he prepared to strike and test Noru's strength. Brandishing his shining sword, the emperor challenged Noru, but Noru swiftly dashed forward, unfazed. The emperor, surprised by Noru's sudden movement, readied himself, unsure of the challenger's next action. The king staggered, wounded. He watched in shock as an unknown figure approached. A shattered relic, Brayanak, caught his eye. "What is that?" he wondered. The figure calmly advanced forward. Confusion spread. Soldiers gasped. The king's heart raced. "The black sword," he whispered, recognizing the feared labyrinth relic. "Impossible." A single warrior lifted it effortlessly, defying everything known about the weapon. The warrior gripped the sword one-handed. Memories surged. Only a monstrous being once wielded it. The king's eyes widened. Is he holding it alone? Awe and fear consumed the battlefield. The king trembled. "Impossible! Such power can't exist!" The warrior smiled, calm and resolute. Fear gripped the king. "I can't fight this!" He panicked. Desperately, he summoned a magical steed. Mounted on an orichalcum-class horse, the king galloped away. The warrior watched quietly. "That horse is fast," he noted. Pity crossed his face. No need to pursue a terrified, broken enemy. Observing the battlefield, the warrior noticed the soldiers calming. "They're recovering," he thought. His presence alone shifted the fight. The king's forces hesitated. The warrior remained vigilant, ready for what's next. The warrior staggered. Must reach their base, he thought. Vision blurred. Blood dripped. He forced himself upright. Enemies would notice if he collapsed. Pain surged. He needed to move quickly. His body trembled. Poison, exhaustion, wounds overwhelmed him. "Did I overexert?" he wondered. Memories of battle flashed. Dragon's strike, venom's bite. Healing couldn't stop fatigue. Strength faded. He collapsed, vision darkening. Breath shallow, hearing dimmed. Enemies so close he realized too late. Soldiers gathered nearby. He hadn't sensed them. Lying helpless, unseen, the warrior faced new danger with fading consciousness. The warrior's consciousness began to fade. His body lay still, battered and weak. Above, light pierced the darkness. His companions had likely escaped. His mind drifted as exhaustion consumed him. A brilliant figure descended, releasing a wave of magic across the battlefield. The sky filled with light. Reinforcements surged forward, rallying under the glow. The warrior remained unmoving amid the chaos. The advancing soldiers flooded the field. The warrior forced his wounded body upright. Nearby, the mage led a fierce counterattack. Blades clashed. Amid the tumult, the warrior's determination quietly reignited. A group of warriors arrived at the battlefield's edge. They surveyed the aftermath. Their leader observed the lone figure among the scattered enemies. Recognition passed through the group. Reinforcements stood ready. A colossal energy arrow pierced the sky, decimating enemy lines. Gilbert descended amidst the wreckage, unwavering. Nearby, battered defenders steadied themselves. The battle shifted as Gilbert's precision controlled the field. Nor, injured, recognized the new arrival. Memories flickered. Gilbert of the Six Saints. Strength surged through weary hearts. Gilbert surveyed the scene, preparing to counter the next threat with measured resolve. Reinforcements approached. The remaining 6 saints advanced in formation, blades ready. United, they pushed forward through the opposing ranks. Momentum shifted once more, signaling a renewed fight for survival and victory. Blades flashed. A deadly technique, 1,000 killer blades, tore through enemy ranks. Armored soldiers fell instantly. Nor observed this was the swordmaster's skill. The tide turned as precision overwhelmed brute force. Nor remembered first witnessing this power. He had long admired and sought it. Despite relentless training, limits remained. Now, the swordmaster stood before him, embodying the ideal Nor once chased. New threats advanced. Allies argued. One cautioned restraint, another pressed forward. Yet Ukin, resolute, struck decisively. The dead littered the field. Nor watched grimly. Mercy faded amidst the ruthless clash ahead. A strike landed with precision. The enemy soldier collapsed, overwhelmed by searing force. A surge of energy erupted, scattering the surrounding warriors. The battlefield trembled beneath the unleashed magic's power. A healer moved calmly, mending wounds with effortless grace. Their presence steadied allies. Soldiers recovered swiftly under the healer's touch. A brief moment of respite formed amid the relentless chaotic fight. Hooded figures assembled. United, they began a dark ritual. Earth split and rose in response. Earth imprisonment curse took hold. A new, ominous phase of battle was about to begin. The earth rumbled. Soldiers froze as a massive force approached. Immobilized, they watched helplessly. A shadow loomed on the horizon, growing closer. The battlefield shuddered beneath the advancing threat. A powerful strike shattered the front lines. Weapons and bodies scattered. The overwhelming force disrupted enemy formation. Panic spread among the trapped soldiers as chaos erupted across the battlefield. Commanders conferred calmly. Preparations for a mass capture began. A seasoned mage stepped forward, channeling magic. With practiced motion, he invoked stone prison, ready to bind the remaining enemies. A lone soldier awoke amid the ruins, disoriented. The ground was scarred by immense forces. Regaining his stance, he surveyed the battlefield. unaware of the devastation that awaited him ahead. Veteran knights gathered, tense. They'd prepared to face the six saints, yet defeat loomed. Fear spread, thousands had fallen to a few. Amid confusion, a towering structure suddenly dominated the horizon. Soldiers stared in disbelief. A colossal, unnatural pit scarred the landscape. The sheer scale of destruction overwhelmed them. Questions echoed in their minds. What power had reshaped the very land? Noor awakened, his wounds healed by Lin's magic. Grateful, he regained composure. Around him, allies regrouped. Victory seemed near, but news arrived. The enemy commander's fate remained uncertain. Intel confirmed the enemy emperor had escaped. Among the vanquished, one warrior stood out clad in golden armor. Discussion turned strategic. Pursuit was needed, yet a plan remained essential. They assessed the situation. The emperor likely crossed the frontier. His rare armor identified him a formidable foe. To intercept him, flight was required. The chase's final phase approached rapidly. Flight was essential. Noor pondered the sky. An idea surfaced: wind-based magic might offer a solution. The team gathered, discussing potential methods. Uncertainty remained, but a path forward slowly emerged. Strategies unfolded. Details of the wind technique were shared. The group listened attentively. Despite risks, they prepared to attempt the untested method. Hope mingled with tension across the small circle. Healing continued. Severe internal injuries required careful magic. Allies worked diligently, focused on recovery. Amid the effort, the team braced for their daring next step: pursuit through the open skies. Preparations intensified. Discussions focused on containing a dangerous dragon. Allies assessed their strength. Trust and caution balanced the decision. Amid uncertainty, commitment solidified. None would abandon the mission, whatever it required. Reunions stirred emotions. Old comrades recognized Noor, surprised by his growth. Memories resurfaced. 15 years had passed. Bonds rekindled. The team reaffirmed their resolve. The looming task ahead united them once more. A deep tremor spread. The dragon stirred from its slumber. Tension gripped the team. Battle readiness surged. The moment had come. The fierce encounter they had prepared for was imminent. The dragon awakened, towering and fierce. Its roar shook the surroundings. The team held position, cautious. Amid the tension, Lin and Noor stood firm, awaiting the beast's reaction. The dragon's gaze locked onto Lin. An intense moment passed. Slowly the creature lowered its stance, recognizing her presence. Relief spread. Communication was established. The impossible seemed within reach. The dragon accepted their request. The team exhaled, marveling at Lin's feat. Trust had been forged with a creature of calamity. A bold new path for pursuit now opened. The dragon expressed gratitude, astonishing the group. They discussed its newfound loyalty and potential power. Caution surfaced. Wielding such force required wisdom. The atmosphere shifted. Alliances strengthened for the coming pursuit. Unexpected allies arrived. Reunions brought relief and purpose. Family bonds reaffirmed commitment. The growing force prepared to confront the Empire. Each member embraced their role, the mission gaining fresh momentum. Final preparations unfolded. Trust and responsibility were assigned. With resolve, the expanded team united. Peaceful negotiation remained preferred, yet battle readiness prevailed. Together they advanced toward the next decisive stage. Plans for flight advanced. A cloaking artifact would conceal their approach. Nor hesitated. Fear of heights lingered. Yet commitment outweighed doubt. The team solidified roles, preparing for the perilous aerial pursuit. Preparations continued. Noor, despite nerves, accepted his part. The dragon awaited, ready. Trust between allies deepened. Each accepted risks ahead, driven by resolve to complete the mission together. Final words were exchanged. Noor promised to safeguard his companions. Confidence and responsibility marked the farewell. With determination, the team launched their daring pursuit, united in purpose, prepared for the unknown. With determination, Lin issued the command. The colossal dragon launched skyward, its wings slicing the air. The pursuit began, an unstoppable force soaring toward the Empire, carrying hope and reckoning. A peaceful forest stirred. Wildlife sensed a distant force. Suddenly, thunderous steps shattered the calm. The dragon flew overhead, its massive wings driving a determined pursuit across the open skies. Scouts advanced below. Careful observation revealed no enemy presence. The dragon's flight continued unhindered. Tension grew. Time was critical. The pursuing team pressed forward, determined to intercept before the Emperor vanished. Allies surveyed the terrain. The imperial capital loomed ahead, their likely destination. Defensive strongholds bristled with magical weaponry. A swift decision was needed. The window to catch the fleeing Emperor narrowed. The dragon's flight continued. The team debated, pursue or retreat. Each weighed the risks. Below, the terrain shifted rapidly. Noor searched for guidance, unsure what choice would lead to success. A sudden glint caught their eye. Lin activated farsight magic. Through the spell they spotted the fleeing emperor. Confirmation spread he had been found. The pursuit decision was now clear. The emperor raced ahead, enhanced by powerful magic and elite armor. The dragons strained to keep pace. The team braced themselves, closing the distance would test every ounce of their resolve. Conflicting views arose. Some urged retreat speed and danger mounting. Cloaking magic shielded them temporarily, but time ran short. They weighed risks, carefully charging forward without a plan could doom them all. Urgency grew. Failure to intercept the emperor would spell disaster. His return would empower an already dangerous force. Determination hardened. Stopping him now was vital to safeguard the entire kingdom. Tension persisted. Protecting the royal heirs remained paramount. Reckless pursuit risked catastrophe. Strategic minds clashed, resolve and caution in delicate balance. The next choice could define the fate of nations. Orders were given. Inez requested permission to strike. Authority granted. Her resolve was unshaken. Power gathered at her command. The operation shifted decisively. Destruction would pave the way forward. Inez prepared to unleash her full strength. Allies adjusted their formation. The dragon ready to assist. Lin coordinated positioning. Stealth and precision would ensure success. Tension thickened before the coming assault. Legends resurfaced. Inez, once known as Shield God, surpassed even the Six Saints. Her presence inspired confidence. The team moved carefully, every action now critical as they approached the decisive strike. Inez, famed as the Shield God, prepared her strike. Power surged. Her reputation was not for defense alone. Her blade could cleave through the strongest barriers. The assault commenced. A devastating slash tore through enemy fortifications. Walls crumbled under her might. Precision met overwhelming force. Her technique left no room for resistance. The battlefield shifted dramatically in moments. As destruction spread, allies watched in awe. The Shield God's strength exceeded legend. The dragon carried them onward, each member inspired. The battle for victory continued with renewed determination. Inez's blade cut through fortress walls with terrifying precision. Her title, Shield God, belied her unmatched offense. Structures crumbled beneath the force. The enemy's defenses shattered. An unstoppable assault had begun. The dragon soared past the ruins. Debris filled the skies. One decisive strike had turned the battle. Amid collapsing towers, the team pressed forward, determined to catch the emperor before escape. Amid collapsing towers, Noor landed hard. His blade braced against debris, halting destruction. Around him, chaos reigned. Allies struggled. The battle's intensity blurred moments. Instinct guided survival amid the devastation. A colossal energy beam surged toward them. Noor reacted swiftly, deflecting with his parry. Disoriented, he pieced events together. Where had they landed? Survival now demanded clarity amid the growing danger. Confrontation erupted within the empire. Cries of treason rang out. Noor's sudden presence drew ire. Tensions flared, intentions misunderstood. The fragile line between assault and diplomacy threatened to snap instantly. Imperial officers advanced with grim resolve. Their mission, seize power for the empire's sake. The emperor, cornered, pleaded in vain. The 10 machines' elite enforcers now commanded the throne room. The emperor's appeals fell silent. Betrayal sealed his fate. Control shifted swiftly. With brutal efficiency, new rulers asserted dominance. Nearby, a sudden clash erupted, hope yet sparked amid the treachery. A parry deflected a deadly strike. Noor intervened with flawless precision. Shock rippled through the usurpers. Momentum shifted. The fight was far from over. A new battle for control had begun. Confrontation deepened. Noor's identity puzzled the enemy. Offered a chance to flee, he stood firm. A sudden attack followed. The emperor, helpless, watched as the scene spiraled toward open battle. A magic shot raced toward Noor. With swift reflexes, he parried. The enemy commander reeled in shock. Tensions flared, confusion spread among both sides. The fragile balance now hung by threads. Voices clashed. Noor urged calm, but chaos brewed. The empire's downfall loomed large. Blame spread wildly, emotions erupted. The chance for diplomacy faded as the room edged closer to outright conflict. Panic spread. The empire's defenses lay in ruins. Leaders blamed the emperor's tyranny. Urgency gripped them. Only decisive action could salvage hope. The call to execute the emperor rang out. Noor questioned their resolve. Could peace not be negotiated? His words clashed with hardened resolve. The empire's commanders believed only death would end the cycle. Noor struggled to understand. The moment snapped. Soldiers charged, weapons drawn. Noor stood firm, blade ready. Diplomacy had failed. Battle was now inevitable. The clash for the Empire's fate began beneath shattered banners. Combat erupted. Noor parried relentless attacks with precision. Chaos filled the throne room. Allies and enemies collided. Amid the turmoil, Noor shielded the Emperor, buying precious moments in the escalating fight. Blades clashed. Noor's skill turned the tide, protecting allies. A sudden object caught his eye, a bomb. Recognition sparked. Danger loomed anew, threatening to shift the battle's balance once more. Reacting instantly, Noor lunged. The bomb arced toward the Emperor. Urgency drove his movements. One misstep could spell disaster. Amid the maelstrom, Noor fought to intercept the deadly device. Explosions rocked the hall. Noor shielded the Emperor. Amid the smoke, enemies advanced, seizing the moment. A faction moved to execute the Emperor. Final justice loomed in the chaotic aftermath. Reinforcements arrived. Their leader called for restraint. Death wasn't necessary. Noor's allies intervened, shifting the confrontation. With calm resolve, they asserted control. The tide turned as measured voices replaced violent urgency. Relief spread. Allies helped Noor withdraw safely. Conversations resumed. Diplomacy reclaimed the stage. Noor, weary but resolute, prepared to regroup. Trust had deepened. The fight for peace would continue beyond this battle. As tensions eased, Noor's actions earned gratitude. His intervention preserved fragile diplomatic ties. Allies reflected, without Noor, the Emperor's death might have doomed future relations. A chance for peace now remained. The 10 machines faced shifting power. Rain asserted control. Their posture softened. Noor's reputation grew, his bravery admired. Dialogue resumed. A fragile balance returned to the embattled palace. Hope rekindled. The opposing forces sought resolution. Surrender terms emerged. Unconditional capitulation offered. The Emperor's fate hung uncertain. Noor's allies prepared carefully. Words, not blades, would now decide the Empire's next chapter. Amid strained diplomacy, Rain declined surrender. Their goal remained clear: dialogue, not execution. The Emperor, shaken, pleaded for mercy. Calm prevailed. Noor's allies sought truth, not bloodshed, from their imperial counterpart. Accusations surfaced. Countless civilian casualties weighed heavy. The true toll emerged: vanished citizens, brutal injuries, deaths. The Emperor's guilt stood exposed. A reckoning loomed. Justice now demanded answers, not hollow promises. Noor's allies proposed harsh penance, not death, but shared suffering. Unified resolve faced the Emperor's fear. His past crimes would not go unanswered. The confrontation reached its final, uncompromising phase. Justice was declared. The Emperor faced a grim sentence: not death, but endless atonement. Despair consumed him. His pleas fell on resolute ears. The Empire's sins would not go unpunished. Amidst the wreckage, the victors regrouped. Noor reflected on the devastation. New figures approached. Among them, the leader of the 10 machines sought dialogue, intentions uncertain beneath layers of diplomacy. Introductions followed. A fragile truce formed. Apologies and explanations tempered lingering hostility. Noor accepted the gesture cautiously. The path to peace remained uncertain, but a critical first step had begun. The aftermath revealed no civilian casualties. Noor's intervention had prevented disaster. Gratitude was offered, but Noor humbly deflected praise. The Empire's leadership acknowledged his actions. A fragile peace began to settle. Noor recounted his unexpected landing amid the chaos. His timing, though fortunate, seemed almost guided. Laughter eased remaining tension. For now, the storm had passed. Dialogue prevailed where bloodshed had threatened. With resolution achieved, allies prepared to depart. Farewells were exchanged. The dragon awaited. As night fell, Noor's group took flight, leaving behind a changed empire and a path toward uncertain peace. With peace secured, allies regrouped. Terms had been accepted. Noor reflected quietly, his next challenge: riding the dragon home. Amid farewells, gratitude was exchanged. The Empire now faced a new beginning. Departure approached. Noor made a light-hearted request: a low flight home. Smiles broke the tension. Though scars remained, a fragile peace had been forged. Hope carried on dragon wings. The battle ended. Allies reflected on Noor's role. No further questions were needed. His well-being mattered most. In the quiet aftermath, trust in his path remained unshaken among those who knew him. A decade earlier, a young Noor sought swordsmanship training. Determined, he defied doubt. Though small, his resolve shone. His journey began, one that would one day change the fate of nations. Months later, mentors discussed Noor's progress. His true potential lay beyond swordplay. Plans shifted, new training awaited. His future path, though uncertain, promised greatness. A prodigy story quietly continued to unfold. Mentors debated Noor's path. His dedication was unmatched, yet swordsmanship eluded him. Only Parry showed promise. They sought alternatives. Nor's spirit warranted opportunity, even if his talents defied traditional expectations. Despite doubts, Nor's resolve never wavered. Bruised and battered, he persevered, his singular focus perfecting Parry astonished all. A strength of spirit beyond his years marked him as something truly rare. Skepticism remained. Warrior training seemed unlikely to suit Nor, yet his determination unsettled even seasoned instructors. Time would test him. For now, his journey continued, each step forged through relentless will. Warrior training intensified. Nor endured every trial. Where others faltered, he pressed on. Pain meant nothing, his heart, unyielding. Even instructors marveled. This boy possessed a rare, fearless drive to persevere. Days passed. One by one, peers dropped out. Nor alone remained. No skills emerged, but unmatched endurance and resolve set him apart. Instructors watched, uncertain was this strength or madness. Word of Nor's progress spread. Opinions clashed. Some dismissed him, others saw rare potential. Regardless, Nor advanced undaunted, undefeated. His journey continued, a boy with no skills, but a heart stronger than steel. Nor continued training. Simple exercises revealed astounding talent. His precision defied expectation. Instructors grew wary, his abilities defied normal limits. Dismissed as luck at first, his feats soon demanded serious attention. Rejected from one path, Nor pursued another. In thief training, his adaptability amazed. Clumsiness masked genius, he mastered techniques others failed. Nor's reputation spread, a boy who instinctively learned the impossible. Rumors grew. Nor recreated complex magic techniques through self-learning. Veterans marveled at his progress. With no formal path, Nor's unmatched will and unique mind forged an extraordinary, unpredictable future. Instructors debated Nor's future. His skills, parry, throwing, small fire, seemed unfit for adventuring. Some sought to guide him toward intelligence work. Yet Nor's determination kept him moving through unconventional paths. Nor approached cleric training. Unaware of required rituals, he faced new barriers. Despite lacking blessings, he persisted. His curiosity and resolve opened yet another door in his extraordinary journey. Snow began to fall. Instructors doubted Nor would endure, yet he stood firm, unmoved. Observers watched, uncertain. Nor's unrelenting spirit would soon challenge even the coldest expectations set against him. 3 days passed. Nor refused to yield. Determined, he endured the cold, demanding training. His resolve startled onlookers. Denial could not break him, he sought growth, no matter the cost. In cleric training, Nor faced new barriers. Without the Holy Spirit, miracles seemed impossible. Yet he persisted, practicing tirelessly. Though warned repeatedly, Nor believed. His unwavering spirit pushed him onward. Against all expectations, Nor channeled magic. Light sparked from his hands. Instructors stood stunned, he performed miracles without ritual. His gift defied known limits. Nor's journey had just rewritten yet another rule. Nor's ability to create miracles stunned all. Though low heels seemed trivial, his unique mastery promised limitless potential. Instructors recognized it. This boy would defy expectations wherever his path might lead. Despite his growth, Nor gained few adventuring skills, yet his spirit left lasting impressions. Plans formed to guide him, but before they could act, he vanished, leaving only questions behind. Alarm spread. The 6 saints searched in vain. Nor left no trace. His departure marked a new chapter, one forged by his will alone. His unseen journey had quietly begun. Nor vanished. Years passed in silence. When he returned, a decade had shaped him. Stronger, wiser, he gazed upon the world anew. The next chapter of his story awaited. The city stirred with rebuilding efforts. Amid the ruins, alliances formed anew. Leaders met with Pope Asura, gratitude shared. Bonds between nations deepened, a hopeful step amid the aftermath of conflict. Diplomatic gestures unfolded. Pope Asura's presence honored the occasion. Neighbors reaffirmed ties. Conversations bridged past tensions. As formalities eased, subtle curiosity lingered, eyes met, unspoken questions beneath polite words. A brief exchange passed. Beneath cordial smiles, mutual understanding grew. The future remained uncertain, but goodwill now shaped the path forward. In the shadows of ruin, diplomacy quietly triumphed. Pope Astera's timeless grace intrigued her hosts. Discussions shifted. The elf's ageless beauty masked deep wisdom. Yet her presence carried more, a key voice amid delicate talks shaping the new alliance. Attention turned to troubling matters. Strange crystals surfaced, materials linked to recent attacks. Their origin puzzled all. The Empire sought answers. Pope Astera's insight could unveil hidden forces threatening peace. Revelations followed. The crystals had been stolen, thievery plagued her kingdom. Security would be reinforced, shared concerns deepened trust. Amid polite tones, a quiet resolve formed to confront dangers lurking beyond sight. Diplomacy turned delicate. Pope Asura raised a pointed question, rumors of a demon child sheltered by the kingdom. Eyes watched closely. The answer carried consequences far beyond the room's walls. Tensions flared. The ruler stood firm. Shelter was granted knowingly. Noor, meanwhile, humbly declined rewards. Loyalty and principle mattered more. Fate soon tied both Noor and the child to the kingdom's future. Final resolve was voiced. The child would be granted citizenship. Conflict risked escalation, but the kingdom would stand by its decision. A bold choice sealed with unwavering conviction and quiet strength. Tension sharpened. Pope Asura pressed the king boldly. His stance on protecting a demon child defied accords. The room-chilled principles clashed against law. A fragile political balance wavered anew. The king stood firm. His kingdom's independence shielded his choice. Yet Asura's words carried veiled threat. Demonkind remained humanity's bane. The weight of the heart of evil deepened mistrust on both sides. Words danced formal, pointed, each probed the other's intent. Beneath diplomacy, suspicion simmered. Yet clarity remained. Not all motives were pure. The fragile alliance would face unseen trials born from this exchange. Diplomacy frayed. The church hinted at conflict. The king held firm. Autonomy remained his stance. Amid veiled threats, words turned sharp. Pride clashed with principle. A fragile accord teetered on the edge. Cooler tones returned. Both sides invoked respect, a word now heavy with meaning. Mutual understanding masked deeper tension. For now, both kingdoms maintained a brittle peace, their words belying watchful caution. A new request emerged, personal yet political. The Pope's son sought renewed contact with the king's daughter. Beneath the polite veneer, subtle machinations stirred. The meeting stakes had just deepened. A new gambit emerged. The Pope's son sought a union, an invitation cloaked in affection, driven by deeper aims. The king sensed danger. Each word masked maneuvering beneath the surface. An unexpected claim followed an engagement no one recalled. The king hesitated. The trap lay hidden. Refusal risked offense, acceptance unknown consequences. The political chessboard grew ever more perilous. Beneath her serene smile, the Pope revealed her nature, a beast cloaked in elegance. Her calculated words wove unseen webs. Those who faced her knew, some monsters wore the kindest faces. Peace returned. Noor joined rebuilding efforts. With unmatched strength he aided townsfolk, wielding his mysterious sword. Among workers, respect grew. Simplicity replaced politics. Hard work now forged the bonds between them. Noor's effortless feats drew curiosity. None could explain his sword's origin. Tales spread, its weight immense, its power unmatched. Yet Noor remained humble, wielding strength in service, not for glory. Laughter eased tired hearts. Noor earned a playful nickname, Piledriver Dude. Amid ruins, humor blossomed. Titles mattered little. Actions spoke louder. Noor's quiet presence now anchored hope in the rebuilding city. Noor shared tales among workers. In the forest's depths he'd faced a goblin. Towering and fierce, it had stalked him. The memory returned vividly, a lesson in unexpected danger. His story enthralled the crowd. Laughter and disbelief mixed. Noor remained earnest, giant strength, monstrous intent. Among rebuilding hands, the tale sparked camaraderie. Fear and humor wove bonds stronger than stone. The goblin's might amazed all. Noor described its feral strength, flinging trees like pebbles. His honesty stirred wonder. Amid light-hearted jests, the workers glimpsed the courage that shaped their unassuming hero. Noor's tale spread cheer. Workers debated its truth. Regardless, his storytelling united them. Around fires and beams, laughter replaced fatigue. In rebuilding, stories wove unseen threads of hope and camaraderie. Noor humbly credited his allies. The goblin's agility still haunted him, unmatched and unnatural. Among listeners, disbelief mixed with curiosity. Magic crystals, strange foes, new questions stirred among minds once bound to routine. The tale's hint of danger resonated. Magic crystals on goblins? Few had heard of such a thing. Fear mingled with caution, new threats loomed beyond city walls. Vigilance would be needed. Noor's goblin tale echoed warmly. Laughter filled the resting workers. They admired his storytelling. Noor reflected on childhood lessons his father's tales had shaped him. Now, his own stories inspired others. Noor agreed to share more, mindful of playful children copying tales. The city bustled. Markets thrived again. Amid familiar scenes, hope quietly returned. A call reached him, new matters drew him onward. Noor sensed life's rhythm restoring, yet eyes watched him in the crowd. One voice, familiar, sought him. Turning calmly, he prepared once more for even in peace. Destiny continued to stir. Noor wandered the marketplace when Rin appeared. Her eyes serious, she spoke of urgent matters. With resolve, Rin asked him to follow. Noor's next destination became clear, back to Mithra once again. She begged him to come along with her panic expression. She wanna go to Mithra once again, and he kinda gets shocked when he heard about that. Noru sought a simple daily quest within the capital. The guild suggested ghost extermination, weak monsters leaking from the labyrinth. Though surprised, Noru agreed, intrigued by a task he could handle alone. The guild warned that ghosts resisted physical attacks. Noru remained unfazed and demonstrated Petit Fire, a small magic spell. Confident, he accepted the challenge, despite skepticism from others around him. At the tavern, Noru casually declared he'd fight ghosts with Petit Fire. Adventurers laughed, doubting his approach. Unbothered, Noru resolved to proceed, ready to adapt if the task proved difficult. Noru searched for a safe daily quest inside the capital. The guild suggested exterminating F-rank ghosts. Physical attacks were useless, but Noru decided to try using Petit Fire regardless. Determined, Noru studied the mission details. Ghosts weren't dangerous but required magic. He asked Rin for help. The target site was an old basement once part of a labyrinth, now storage. Arriving at the site, Noru and Rin descended ancient stairs. Noru admired Rin's maturity at 19. Alone, he might have been lost. Together, they prepared to face the lurking spirits below. Noru and Rin entered the abandoned warehouse. Rin warned of active traps. Noru advanced carefully. A triggered trap sent rubble crashing down. Both dodged swiftly. Noru spotted an old, hidden altar. Approaching the altar, Noru noticed strange markings. The air felt heavier. A faint vibration echoed through the room. Curious, he advanced. Suddenly, the altar emitted a dark, pulsing energy. A shadowy blade shot toward Noru. Without hesitation, he parried it with precise timing. The blade struck the altar, releasing more dark energy. Noru readied himself for what would come next. The altar pulsed violently. A strange sphere emerged, hovering above. Cracks formed as the object split, releasing dense mist. Noru, tense, braced himself. An eerie presence began filling the chamber. Dark smoke solidified. Noru recognized the form. A ghost, he muttered. The entity hovered menacingly. Rin called from above. Shadows swirled around Noru, more spirits emerging, filling the dim room. Rin rushed in. Countless ghostly forms surrounded them. Noru and Rin stood back to back, assessing the threat. Rin's eyes widened. She gasped. The spirits advanced, faster than they expected. The ghostly mass grew larger, twisting in mid-air. Tendrils stretched outward, creeping across the ground. Noru stepped forward, shielding Rin. The oppressive air thickened. A fierce battle was unavoidable. Rin tensed, readying her staff. Noru calmly raised a hand. "Let me handle it first," he said. The spirits swirled, preparing to strike. Rin reluctantly nodded, watching him closely.